Right, recording now. People are here. Liam's lost 2k points because memes. And also a mistake on my end. So, last session, you guys travelled northward from Orbainum, met with Boomer after the huge issues that happened between Penelope and him. And starting to just scratch the surface of Dunvast and what's going on, you managed to find out at least some minor details. It seems that this singing, this discourse, is only affecting males, and it's almost drawing them out, away south from the docks and slightly into the ocean, some as well. No one's been taken yet, or at least no one that has been noticed, and it seems people were able to be shook out of it, sort of thing. Like, and like you guys are akin that to a charm. Like if you slap them about a bit, it tends to break the effect. Leaving there, you guys have got different places you can be to split up and investigate. So, I know there was some places and choices people were going to go. Where are those? What are you guys doing in the town of Dunfast?
So, what are the options that people can go and do?
I think I remember one actually.
Go on.
What happened to the shit that got burned?
As far as you're aware, after you guys left, it was passively mentioned that the ship was just burnt to ash, and the ash was taken to the church to make sure there was no lasting remnants or anything like that. And as far as the ship graveyard workers are aware, that's all they know.
Yeah, because I would have probably gone to the church just to investigate, see that's gone through smoothly.
Okay.
Yeah. So there was that. We needed to go and officially accept this contract. We had the sailors that were on their way back from the docks ask them questions, and then get ourselves set up to stay the night for whatever we were doing.
Well, shall we? I assume that if the sailors are on their way back, we have a little bit of time. Shall we go accept the job?
Not much point starting it if we're not allowed to work it. So
Completely agreed. It does take formal acceptance. Shall we go? And then we can all arrange to meet at the tavern, because I'm guessing that where the sailors may end up after something like this.
Go and get ourselves. Yeah, you go do that. We'll get ourselves settled in and everything sorted. I will go and make sure that Derek knows to plug his ears if anybody wishes to come with me.
Right.
Do we know if Derek's going to actually be affected by this singing in the morning if we're staying the night?
You guys have no idea. You have no idea what Derek is in terms of will it affect him or not.
Maybe perhaps to suggest him to go out to sea for the night, just as a precaution.
So how do we call him back then?
Just tell him to come. Well, we just got time to come back after.
After like midday.
Probably not. Well, yeah.
Make a suggestion.
Yeah.
How much food does Derek have currently?
I think someone can cast a spell and make a nice little food spell.
Yes, but that's not the same thing. Just try and recall precisely how much he has. I believe he has 3 days worth of food left.
How long would it take him to get to Helvetica?
7. Helvetica? Probably for more than that.
I was just going to suggest, because that is going to be the next place that we go.
Do you guys want me to put the world map on? The country map? Yeah, I was going to say, because if you guys are talking about movements and stuff, I figured it probably would be beneficial. Because that is set up if you do measurements. There you go.
Because it would make sense that Derek was headed to somewhere that we were going to be next. If we send him out to sea and then back again, you're essentially wasting food. Wasn't there something at Kalbake that we had to do?
Nope. I believe Kelbake was just a stop along the way that people had planned.
No, I remember us hearing Kalbake quite a bit. Because I was sitting there thinking that's a very strange name for a city. You know, I'm not
It
from
was
around.
it was to pick up food if we were taking longer to get here, but we
Thank
went
you.
the quick way. So there's no job there now.
So where would we be heading after? Not Helvetica, sorry, Havelter. I've got the wrong city. That's a Rose problem. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Helvetka's the one with the pirates, yeah.
Yeah, Havelter. Sorry, that's going to be the next location.
Well, I believe once we've resolved whatever's here, we go back to Havelter. We have a discussion with the people at the Ludmire Sanctum. See what information they can give us about the map, and if there's anything they can do to help us track the numbers, and then move from there. Possibly, we could then go and head round to near, I believe, is it near Fidlemore, where your potential residence is, Retail?
You don't know about that. I haven't told anyone about that yet, so.
You have, haven't you?
Oh.
Have I?
I'm pretty sure you have. Because you kind of flashed the scroll thing as like a...
Oh, sorry.
I remembered the discussion of it being around the same place Vian's parents were, and that was why, but I don't... Like, we weren't.
I don't think... very little was mentioned about it.
Yeah.
But it was mentioned.
I'd say, I can remember it being mentioned, and it's somewhere between these two, and I couldn't remember if it was near Clossotega, and it was near Fidlemore.
It's in Fidlemore, yeah.
So, whilst we're doing that, it's either we can make a move towards these two, or we can head round from Dunvast to Fidlemore, grab stuff there, we can check in with the Skulls, see if there's anything they want us to look into. And then we can...
So, sorry, what is the reasoning for going to Fidlemore?
I have, some sort of inheritance.
Which would be
possibly a house, yeah.
And usually they don't give inheritance documents to just like, here's a chair and some copper. You know what I mean? It's not worth the paper it's printed on or written on.
Which, hopefully, Greytail, you wouldn't mind that possibly being a place we could hold up in if we're ever near Fidlemore.
Sure.
Well, it'll really depend on what it is. Like,
I mean, if it's a caravan, it's not going to be big enough. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what it is.
Yeah, I feel like we've already got to sort this out and then potentially go over there and figure out what that is. It sounds like a tomorrow problem.
Yeah.
We need to find out about Havelter in the next couple of days, deal with this issue here.
How about...
And then south.
Just for a little while, we just plan a day or two at a time. If we're planning months and months, even though that seems to be more that kind of thing, you know, something could crop up tomorrow when you speak to your friend in the sanctum, you know, the one you were on about. You know, day by day, it makes things easier.
We have, so far we're about a week in planning at the most.
Still, that is... Well, it is quite a long time.
What's wrong with having a general idea of what we want to do?
Sorry?
But what's wrong with having a general idea of what we're going to do?
I didn't say that there was anything wrong with it. I just said sometimes this is easier to plan only a day or two in advance because you don't know what might happen. And then plans go out the window. We've seen this many times. I wasn't calling the. I'm not even going to bother, okay? Whatever this negativity is, I don't need it right now. So, Vector Skills, are we going? Are people coming with?
If you need to go and sign up for this job,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
do that. I will go and make sure that Derek is good. If there's any sailors down there that still hang around afterwards, I can have a quick word with them and then head back.
So you're not staying with us?
I will take someone with me if they wish.
Sure, I wouldn't mind popping down to the water.
Of course. I will summon Steed. Or find Steed, even.
Okay. So which would obviously give you the ability to get there rather than the 15, 20, 30-minute walk.
Yeah.
Much, much quicker, like 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
As he's doing all this, and you just see him summon the seed and everything, one of Hera's eyebrows just kind of creeps up slowly. Okay. Gentlemen, Persephone, are you accompanying me, or are you still going?
I'll come with you.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay here. Actually, no. I'm just gonna go for a wander around, stretch my legs.
Good. Don't get in too much trouble, and if you do, try and avoid the beatings sometimes that happens from God. Good luck. And she'll just walk off, kind of like don't know what I'm gonna do, but that's kind of a bit of a mute point because literally Hera would do anything.
So, I mean, she makes it sound like you don't know how to deal with guards.
Okay, so quickly taking it from the top. Boomer's going to the church to check on the ashes. Hailra is going with Greytail to the Skjalls, or the Vector Skjalls, sorry. Evan and Vian are going to the docks to check on the ship and sort out anything that way. And Persephone is taking a walk. Is that right?
Yeah, just dodging around.
Have I missed anything?
Yes.
No. Right, so...
You've missed Deer, but
about the chip.
Oh, Deer, what are you doing?
I'll go with Hydra.
Okay, so the three of you. So we'll start from the top of that it was mentioned. So we'll start with Boomer, then Hailra's bit with you two, then to the ship. And Persephone, if there's anything you want to particularly do on your walk, we can touch on that as well at the end. So
I just literally want to walk around, take the sight, smell the flowers, smell the freshly baked bread and stuff like that.
No worries. I'm going to put you all back in Dunvast now, just because it's appropriate. But so...
fresh bread.
We'll start with Boomer. So you head to the church. And I would imagine if you would have specifically wanted to check, you would have been told that it was the one of the small temples of Torm that was the ones looking after the ashes, the remnants, it were. And you would make your way there and you would enter inside and you would see it's not the grandest of chapels and temples, but in comparison to the buildings, it's a very small, very, very small town. It's nice, it's big, it's spacious. You're greeted as you walk in, and the sight of a devil horn growing on deer grows in your mind as you look at the screen. What do you ask? What do you inquire the young servant? It seems it's cleaning the temple halls.
Yes, there was a incident here a while back regarding a ship that had been burned.
Oh, yes, I remember that. Why do you ask?
I'm just making sure, obviously, everything has gone through smoothly, because I am aware there's some trouble at the docks. I'm just currently investigating to see if the ship isn't still causing any more trouble.
Let's roll a quick history check for him. Aight.
He remembers as if it was yesterday.
Oh, yes, no, I was one of the people that helped move the remnants into the chapel, and it got looked at by one of the elders here, and as far as I'm aware, the ashes had some lingering traces to them, but we was able to remove it and cleanse what was left of the ship and move it on, and the ashes were buried.
So there's no more reports of anything linked specifically with this ghost ship.
Not that I've been made aware, although a lot of the times now, especially when the workers are unsure, they usually ask one of us or one of the other smaller temples here to go and check the vessels if it's one they're not sure about, as a just in case. We haven't found or heard of any other ones since, luckily.
Good.
It seems it was extremely morbid one-off, or at least something rare enough that we've only had to deal with the one.
Could you point me in the direction of where the ashes were buried? I'm not going to dig them up, I just want to see if there's for myself if there's any traces.
We took them behind the church here, and we put a couple of saplings and some wildflowers on top, so at least some good could come of it all. The ashes would serve as nutrients for the soil and enrich it for the plants to absorb off of.
How long was that ago, roughly?
About nearly a month.
To see some growth from healthy ashes?
Well, there's not much to see. We're still early in the spring, but hopefully through the years we'll see them grow and do well.
Thank you for your time. You have been helpful.
No, if there's anything else you need, please don't hesitate, and it's appreciated that you come to check.
Yeah, anything you can do to help. Just need to see what's going on with the docks now.
Yes, I've heard some word of it through people. Some of the people have come in to ask for guidance, prayer, protections, and things like that. Yes, it's not great.
Have you got any information that could provide us with a lead?
See if you can follow up that natural 20, huh? With a...
Hopefully.
Fucking hell! Mate, you have low-key...
Get rid of them. Get them out.
You know what? I'm going to actually bestow this NPC fucking keen mind, because this boy... this boy hasn't forgotten a thing. Like, I'm gonna say right now that this little, servant has keen mind, because how else do you explain it?
Well, it's his job. Like, he's trained in remembering things.
Oh, I don't.
Fuck me.
He's a brilliant apprentice.
I want you to see, obviously, if I wanted to roll a d20, see what happens. Oh.
Good.
Thing is, though, with the 3D, it's landed right next to the 20.
Yeah.
Balance, as all things should be. So, Boomer, in all the excitement then, I kind of forgot the question. Can you repeat it?
Yeah. Do you have any information regards to the
Not too much. From what I've heard, from what little things I know, it seems like some sort of charm curse or something like that that's affecting people. No one's been taken as far as I'm aware, but it's only a matter of time if no one's careful. It's not something that's happened here for a while or at all. It's only been happening the past few weeks. I don't know what's causing it. I haven't been there, or no one from the church has been allowed to yet, or asked to, I should say. But some of the workers and the dock workers have come in and asked for prayers of guidance, as well as blessings and things like that.
Do we know currently he was in charge of this investigation? If any?
No one's been in charge of it yet. A couple of people have come to do work and try, but have failed to discern the nature of it. The only thing that I remember saying is one of the young misses that came to have a look, one of the people attempted to take up the contract, explained that she heard something different to what the men of the docks were saying, and apparently the song that's being heard there is sorrowful, I think was the way she explained it. Although to everyone else it sounded completely different, almost charming and endearing, if that makes sense. But she claimed, and other people have claimed that it seems to be more sorrowful. What people that aren't affected have said this a few times.
Would you know where I could find this individual?
She moved on about 2 weeks ago. She was able to discern this much, but couldn't locate or pinpoint anything. So didn't want to waste time, and I believe she went to... Oh no, she didn't say. I know she said she was going south. But she said she had other work that she was going to look into.
Is there anything else that could help put me an edge on this investigation?
Like I said, I haven't been told much. The only thing I can say is just how many men are you?
Probably about roughly a party of 7 or 8.
All of you are men?
3 women, that's all you need. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
You can do the math from that, Boomer.
So you explain there's 4 and 3.
Yeah.
The only thing I can say is don't go to the docks alone, at least the 4 of you. The misses of your group should be entirely fine. From what I've heard and been told, that they seem almost entirely unaffected. Just make sure there's at least 2 of you, because if one of you gets charmed, and pray not both of you, you are able to stop it, I've heard, through jostles and jolts, and if needed, a strike.
Ooh. Just one more question before I leave. Has anyone been charmed in the while in the village itself, or just at the docks?
No, the dock's far enough away. It seems that it's whatever's influencing is far enough away that it can't, whether it be a person, a curse, an item similar to like the ship or something maybe. It seems that it hasn't moved, and it's reluctant to, which is good, and it doesn't seem to be spreading or getting worse.
Thank you very much for your time.
No, I appreciate it. You see, I'll stop rolling history checks at that point, because he's just like, he's gonna nat 20. Fuck him. This boy knows everything.
He's the oracle.
Fuck, it is.
What I'll do then, as I come out the church, I'll start detecting, casting detect magic.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll move round to the back of the church to investigate.
Ritual or just casting?
Ritual cast, sorry. And I'll just then have a gander around the area where the mash are, just see if there's anything there.
Well, you begin ritual casting detect magic, and you eventually move round to the back of the building. You see that about 1/2 foot stakes, 6 of them in a hexagonal formation around these plants have been placed, with like thin rope that's been that's tied the stakes all together to create like a flower bed like border. The grass has been entirely like removed and taken away, and you can see that there's just some green shoots of various flowers that are starting to sprout. Because bearing in mind, you're in the equivalent of about March, which funny enough is about now. March, mid to mid-March-ish, I want to say. And you can see that there are 2 saplings that are very small, probably about a foot tall at this moment. And you can see a couple dozen or so wildflowers have been mingled in between, with space for the saplings to eventually grow upon and things like that. It looks nice. The detect magic will eventually go, and it seems fine. You can obviously detect the celestial magic behind you coming from the church, and the ground gives off like a very faint warmish glow, is like I want to say, like it's like a warm light that the ground gives off. It seems like whatever was affecting the ship and in turn affecting the people, you guys seemingly dealt with it, or it wasn't attached to the ship?
It's long gone.
Didn't Boomer know it wasn't attached to the ship?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, he knew that,
Okay.
but he still wanted to investigate anyway, because Boomer.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, because a quick reminder for Boomer, it was attached. It was the captain of the ship, quote unquote, was the one that was causing it, which was attached to the locket that you guys had found. That had the engraving on the
remember.
back.
Yeah, can't remember what happened to the locket.
That's the real question.
Probably Cass.
But
No, Percy had it.
As you sit there and observe and make sure things are right, walking past the church and up the drive to the Veckaskjal's residence is Hailra, flanked with grey and deer, so it is the bounty cats.
Bounty Tabaxi.
So, you arrive at the residence and you can see that there's a guard at the front going, can I help you?
Here to see the sorry, I tried to do the accent then. It wasn't funny.
Fly get in your mouth?
Yes, we're here to see the Vector Skjals, please.
What's your business?
I'm here to accept a job. It's Zilton. Heller Zilton.
Right, are they expecting you? Or is this something else?
Something else.
Right.
They put out a job. I am here to accept it. If you would like to go talk to them and then maybe see if they are willing to talk to me. If not, I can come back later. But I am here to accept a job.
Well, the point I was asking for, miss, is because those jobs aren't dealt with by the Veckaskjals but by their scribe. So if you want to please follow me, I'll go and take you to her.
Brilliant. Thank you. So yeah, I'll head in.
Frid, watch the gate for me while I take these in you. Thanks. And Frid will give a nod back. And he leads you inside through the door, and it's open to it's a 3-story home. It's fairly well furnished, if not slightly on the more modest side. You guys are led onto the next floor up, onto the first floor, and you're led into a small study area. Right, make yourselves comfortable here. I'm going to go and fetch your scribe.
Yes, and I do apologise. It is different from town to town. Sometimes smaller towns, they don't really have scribes. You get the drill. You don't know sometimes who you could be dealing with.
It's fine. I will go and get the scribe.
Excellent.
And a few moments will pass. Is there anything you guys want to do in this study, or are you just waiting?
Take a seat. Put feet up on a table, probably.
I will stay standing and push his feet off the table, and I'm like, do you do that in your own home?
I would if I had one. He said
He doesn't know yet.
Just keep your feet in the picture. It's a bit of respect, even though this technically isn't a bedroom. Don't put your feet on the tables. Jesus, you'll scuff them.
Okay.
Dear? Just sit down, chill, wait. Good to know.
I mean, after a couple of minutes, if we're waiting for more than 5 minutes, I will kind of Harold will turn to Greytail and just go, so quick question. I just want to find out what this is all about. What is Evan's current problem? I know he's hurt, but it seems more than that.
You've asking the wrong person. I have no idea.
Well, I tried asking him, but it didn't go too well. He just lied to my face. I don't really like liars, to be honest.
He does that a lot. I'm just letting him get on with it, to be fair.
It just seems like he's almost driving you all off the cliff in a caravan.
We have a ship. You know that big thing.
Well,
You finally come out of nowhere.
wait, what was that?
We don't have a caravan, do we? We'd have the ship.
Yeah, but if we had... Fine then, he is driving you into a whirlpool in the derrick. It is not meant to be an actual thing. It is an analogy. I believe that is what you call them. You know, an allegory, maybe?
I don't know, make the caravans, to be honest.
I didn't mean that he was literally doing it. It is a figure of... Never mind. What I meant is, it seems like he is dead set on destroying you all, but I don't think he is. I don't think he realizes what he's doing. But it's just interesting to see how you all interact together, or not, as per case. Like, you know, everyone keeps splitting up and doing their own thing. To the point where I was literally asking if he wanted to come with, and I think he was a bit insulted because he was like, "No, I won't. I'm going to go do something else." And yeah. Is it usually like that?
Kind of. I mean, he wasn't at first. But yeah.
So something has changed.
I'll just shrug. I have no idea what's going on with him. I'm just keeping out of his way.
I mean, wouldn't you rather... What's the best way of saying this without sounding what it's going to sound like? Wouldn't you rather, you know, make sure that this collapse that is coming doesn't?
Well, we tried that, and it didn't work.
Did you try with him, or did you try to... There is this actual word, and it is escaping me right now, but, you know, oust him out of whatever leadership position he has taken.
She's talking mutiny. Oh dear.
Mutiny, rebel.
Yeah. Well, the Derek seems to think he's in charge. I don't know how he pulled that one off.
Well, do you all see him to be a leader that you can put your faith in?
Not anymore, no. When we first met, sure. He seemed capable.
And then he has changed with time.
Yeah.
Huh. Fascinating. What about you, dear?
I mean, I don't like the fact he turns off in a caravan, so... Yeah.
And at that point, the door cracks open because I don't want to hear the rest of that sentence.
Oh,
and
I think I've been warned about men like him
the guard opens the door and goes, "I'll be outside if you need anything, just deal with these people and we'll get them out." Thank you. It's appreciated.
Oh, I do apologise.
You must be Miss Silton, yes?
Me? These are my companions.
Associates.
Is it just Grey Tail and Deer, or do you have more names?
Grey Tail.
Dancing reindeer.
And Dancing Reindeer, really?
Yeah, his name's Dancing.
I did not know that. I'm sorry. We're really close, really.
Well,
yes.
it's fine, Mr. Greytail and Mr. Reindeer and Miss Silton. So, you've come about one of the jobs that's been placed, yes?
Yes, the one for the docks with the sinking that is... The strangeness, the going-ons.
Right, and I assume that all of you are applicable?
That would be me, and on my head be it. They are going to... I will take out... I assume I have a scroll that has all these different seals and stamps and names.
You would have some form of pedigree, yeah.
Cool, I will lay it out and be like, we are, as a group, accepting this deal if any of me, my 2 companions, or the following names come talking. They are effectively under my umbrella. I don't know if umbrellas exist. I assume they do. So,
well, according to you, parasols exist in this world, so umbrellas should do as well.
Yeah, chill. So yeah.
Umbrella corporation.
Hello, God.
Shut up.
Okay.
For the
And she will take a moment as you're speaking. She'll like pull the scroll over, or the parchment over, and look it over. Okay.
Yes,
so these seals are official. It seems you've been signed off by one of the small guilds. Yes. No, that's everything I need to see. Thank you. I just needed to make sure because we've had in the past with previous work when it's been one we've requested specific people for, other people try to pretend roguelikes and such who try to impersonate.
Oh, don't worry. And I've heard about, obviously, the recent the groups that have been annihilated across some of the others. I get it. You're trying to make sure that I'm not going to sit here and murder you all. I just specific skill set.
No, that's fine. Well, as far as we're aware, with the issues that we're encountering, is there's been some force has made its way south of the docks and has been affecting some of the workers. Claims of the enthrallment have been made, and various different claims have been made, although none of them have been officially maintained yet. We've placed a work order for it of 4,000 if we can at least understand the cause, and then we can go from there, and if willing or able, further payment for complete eradication, fixation is what we've requested.
So, first of all, can we have a contract put in place that states that if we find the source of it, we are still at liberty to be paid the $4,000 if we are able to remove said problem, as in not kill, but maybe vacate and make them move. That is an additional sum, and then if it is that they need eradicating, obviously, because lives are on the line, we then have a third addendum. Is that the right word?
I can certainly draft something up. The initial contract will just mention the investigation portion, but I will certainly draft those addendums in if you wish to pursue that as well.
Please, it is just if we get back and it was only to discover it, and I've been there before where it wasn't even like one of the scars or lords or whatever that tried to do me out of a substantial amount of money, because the original deal was to just find it out. It gets a bit messy. If we're all clear, the line is drawn, we can go from there.
Certainly. It will take me an hour or so to put the addendums in, but I do have a copy of the initial request from us ready to just have the names of those involved, so I could make the additions before you attach your name.
That would be brilliant. Could I also request a couple of things, and I'm sure if my 2 companions or any of us others would like to ask a couple of questions, maybe.
Certainly, I can ask the Vekkers for such a thing. I can't believe that would be out of the realm of possibility. If it aids in the completion of the work, I think they're more than happy to provide.
Sorry, it was not money or... it's information I need, access to certain things. I need access to a map. Please?
That can be provided of no issue, yes.
I would also like access to the individuals that you speak of, the ones that have these claims, so they can be thoroughly investigated.
You will have to speak with
names.
That would be Darkmaster Thorin you would have to speak with. He is the employer of those people. I'll put it in the chat.
Thank you. Where does this Thorin usually reside?
He has a house, but half a mile away from the dock outside of the village to the northeast. No, northwest, sorry. Northeast would be in the ocean.
Well, so apparently some people live in the ocean, which I didn't know until recently, but stranger things have happened.
But no, northwest, my apologies, about half a mile. If you follow the path that leads away from the village, he has a home there. He prefers to be closer. The rest of the dock workers live in the village here. He usually doesn't come in outside of purchasing necessities and things like that. He likes to be near the docks for security. He holds the names of the people that you would want to speak with. Specifically, we didn't hold him accountable for providing them.
Obviously, this is the beginning of things. It wouldn't make sense for you people to come and investigate if you'd done half the work for them. Otherwise, it would be a small sum. Would you be able to mark that on the map here, along with, do you know of the location on the coast where this unusual circumstance took place?
Yes, and she will basically outline that it doesn't seem to quite envelop the entirety of the dock, or at least where people have been affected. From what they can gather, it's about 60 to 70% roughly of the docks are affected. In terms of epicenter and how far does it stretch in other directions, like out to sea, south of the docks, they don't know because they don't want to risk the excavation of trying, almost.
They just know it's hitting that point.
Yeah, but definitely the limit of it, of whatever range it is, if it's targeted like a cone or is it just a radial, they don't know. But it seems to affect the majority of the docks, but not almost all of it, but like a vast majority still. Like I said, about 60-70%. And she would reiterate the same information, that it only seems to affect men. Women seem entirely unaffected. Pets, animals don't seem to be affected in any way either. It just seems to be humanoids, as far as the reports have been said.
And am I right in thinking that, so both of them are showing difference, as in, the men are hearing a charming voice singing to them to do stuff, and the women are hearing a sorrowful voice and don't feel the same feeling.
Yes, it's they claim it's like a mournful ballad, and something that's not quite repulsive, but discomforting almost, if that makes sense. Apologies, I'm working off second and third hand reports.
Understood, completely. And you're able to hear this as soon as you step foot onto the docks. It's not something that's gone away. It's still happening. They're just
periodically it comes and goes. It's not constant.
Do you have a record of the times which is happening? Is it certain times of the day, night? Is there a pattern?
There's no pattern that we've been able to discern. Sometimes it's happened in the day. It does seem more of the reports have happened in the early evening, just as the sun is setting, but we've had reports day, night, sunrise, sunset.
Is anything off? And I'll kind of look at the other two. Just off the record, obviously. Anything happened on those docks? Deaths, strange oddities, people being murdered, anything along those lines? That we should maybe...
What was that? A whale?
I think wasn't that the creature?
It sounded like a kid going.
Genuinely, I was like, wait, is it real?
Yes, I have actually set foot creatures in the real world to come for you all. Prepare. No. Not that I'm aware of.
No?
No, we haven't had any such implements.
Okay. would there be anywhere that you keep record of that such thing?
Most of it would be kept either here with me or the record keepers at the temples, but we have yet to ask for aid of them, as we thought bringing people from outside probably would have yielded quicker results, given the tasks they complete in town for us anyway. We didn't want to overburden them.
Oh, understood completely. It would make more sense if you were going to speak to them that you had all the information first, but, like you say, you don't want to put too much pressure on these individuals. If you were to find out any other information, would you say to either myself or one of my friends?
I would be happy to. Which establishment are you staying in, or are you living with someone at one of their homes?
Is it the one in town, the thimble place?
The thimble place?
I do apologise. The inn's in town.
No, my apologies. Are you staying at the Spice Rum Bottle or the Trader's Welcome? The coin and thimble is over in the Fridays.
You're completely right. I do apologise. I've just not been really far north in quite some time, and I've kind of forgotten a little bit. The Spice Bottle is the place we are staying.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's Friday's, Rose, the coin and thimble. That's the tavern we're staying in that campaign.
I'm sorry. I was like, there's so many tavern names going on now. Like,
it's fine. It's absolutely fine. I just thought it was funny.
Oh, it's hilarious. But yeah, yes, that is where we're staying is. And then I will list off the names of our group and like notifying things. Like there will seem to be like, if they're ever unsure, don't reveal information. Blah blah. The usual standard like ball of play. This is how we operate, kind of deal with them if they're okay with that.
Certainly.
Do we know what happens to the men when they hear it?
Well, they claimed that they lose like control of themselves, and they feel an urge to follow the song, the noise, the tone, and we haven't had any of the dock workers go missing yet, because usually they work in groups, and others have been able to restrain and pull them away before anyone's been taken.
It is a brilliant point. What do the men want to do when they are charmed?
As far as I've been told, they feel like an instinctual urge to find the source of it, go to it. They haven't expressed more of any more detail than that, I'm afraid.
So it is not as in like someone is telling them to do something, it's just an attraction.
They hear this song and it's more of an instinctual feeling, urge. No one said of any commands being told to them, no come like over here sort of thing. They hear this song that's no words, it's more of a melodic singing.
I just mean it is odd that it is very gender specific kind of thing. So I was just asking for the sake of asking. I believe we will probably find out more information when we speak to the actual sailors.
Well, I hope obviously you are able to have information that would help with that. We don't have anything here as to why that would be the case. The only thing I would suggest is make sure you keep your associates here in tow, and if they are affected, I'm sure there's a number of things you're able to do to defend yourselves.
Would you know anywhere where we could maybe buy candle wax in town?
Oh, there's plenty of traders in the marketplace that I'm sure would be more than happy to sell such things.
Cool.
The marketplace is open to a myriad of traders selling multiple things. Candle wax is something, it's usually beeswax for the most part, if that's fine.
It just needs to be hard enough that if we're putting in people's ears, they're not full of slime. It needs to be tough enough that it molds to the shape, but doesn't slip about in there.
I understand where you're going with this. Yes, no, there should be plenty of people that can do that.
Well, we have an hour whilst you draw these up. Should we go and get something? And then maybe meet the others because they're going to the docks?
I will write this contract up and I shall meet you in your establishment. Bring the contract and get you names put on it and the rest of your comrades.
Yes, that would be excellent. It might be some time. I don't know if we would maybe go down to the docks or something or not. I don't know. What do you guys think? Looking at Great Ellendeer, would you should
If we, get things to plug the ears,
Yeah.
gather everyone back together, and then it might be worth just having the night and going early thing first morning.
Well, I'm wondering if we would, maybe. Well, what time of day is it roughly, Danny, at this point?
You guys arrived at the town early morning with the boomer meet-up and stuff, talking to the ship graveyard and stuff. You're probably
lunch.
Hour or two past noon, maybe.
I thought we were like late evening because the people were on their way back. The sailors were on their way back from the docks.
They would be at the end of the day, yeah.
Which is what I thought we were at, but if we're only at noon, that's
yeah.
good.
No, because you guys plan to be at Dunvast by the morning to grab Boomer to talk with Miss Penelope and things, didn't you?
Yep.
That's it. It's all been a bit,
Because don't forget, the very early morning, you guys were in Havelter talking to Penelope, going to the Ludmire Sanctum to arrange the meeting and things like that. That's what your guys' early morning was.
So it's around about 1.
Yeah, well,
one
if
or
it's
2
not
hours
that
past
late,
noon, yeah.
Yeah, if it's early afternoon, then we'll just go straight there. Have a look.
Yeah. So if we go on our way out, quickly nip to the marketplace and see if we can get anything, if we're going to go anywhere near the dock. Try and meet up with the others and grab Boomer and Persephone wherever they are in town and head up to meet with Evan and Vianne.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
And then you, if you don't mind, Miss, or Sir, I don't know.
She's a young... I'll be honest, I forgot to do the description. It's about 5'5", young woman with mousy brown hair, and she's wearing like a ruffled white shirt with brown trousers to the boot, and she's very well dressed, almost in like this sort of time period, clerical wear almost.
Yeah, she's wearing her office day job outfit.
Yeah. As close to time period accurate as it could be.
As the corporate individual, well, one of the 2 corporate individuals in this group of friends, I know exactly what you're on about.
Danny,
yes.
Can I borrow you just down into whispers, please?
Just give me a second, but yes. You do remember, though, that it'll be on stream?
That's fine.
Okay.
It's not for us, though.
That's fine. So what I'll do, she will offer to meet you in the tavern at in the evening, because obviously if you guys are explaining to go to the docks and things like that, that would be absolutely fine. I'm going to go and see what Carl wants, and then we shall transition to Eventine and Vianne, followed up by Persephone, unless this changes here. I will see you guys in a second.
See you in a sec.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh.
What the fuck you want, bruh? Carl?
Hello.
Oh,
I'm going to have to run and get my mom. She's in hospital. She's asked me to come and grab her.
Oh,
so
no,
I'll be back.
dude,
I'll be
that's
back
fine.
in a bit. It's all right. She got took in an ambulance and she's got nothing.
Dude, that's fine, dude. Go and do what you need to do.
Yeah, I'll be back in about an hour or so, alright?
No, not a problem, man. I hope she's alright.
Yeah, see you a bit.
See you in a sec.
Me.
Right.
Also.
Nothing in character. Carl's got to go. Family emergency. Mom's just been taken in very ill. That's all. So he's just explained he's got to go and see to her and obviously make sure she's okay and things. So that's all it was. He just wanted like a quiet chat, just so he could explain without background noise and stuff.
Yeah.
So obviously.
Oh,
Oh no, he said he'd be back in an hour. He said he'd be back in an hour, but I'm like, dude, just as long as it takes, whatever. You know what I mean? I don't want him to rush because it's his fucking mum at the end of the day.
Yeah, no.
So Persephone's obviously out having a wander. So Hieron, no, you won't go and find Persephone because Persephone will be. Persephone is natural 20'd into the fucking brush. She's going to do what she will do, and you cannot stop her.
I was just trying to bring the party back together for you, darling.
I know. I'm just saying, it's fine.
Yeah.
Persephone will find you when she's ready.
Yeah. Sound.
Right, so Evan and Vianne, you go on a back of a stallion, baby. Make your way to the docks at lightning speed. You arrive there in 5 or 10 minutes or so. So obviously we know we're doing these one by one, but it's technically simultaneous. So yeah, it's fine.
Yep, fine.
Where are you guys going? Obviously, you got the ship. There's general hustle and bustle. It's not like humming with activity, but it's busy.
Right. Okie dokie. Well, we would arrive at the docks. Sorry, I'm a little all over the place because the timeline changed on me.
It's fine.
Because I thought we were close to evening, but apparently we're not.
Give it probably 4 hours, and if it's only a couple hours past noon, you'd probably be technically going into evening in about 2-3 hours.
Yeah, no, like I say, I thought we were a lot further on than we were.
Yeah, no, because basically the morning was Boomer, Havelter stuff. Noonish was getting into Dunvast, and then obviously this is now.
Yeah, like I say, no.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
All over the place. That's fine. Okie dokie.
If anything, being further behind is better. So, like timeline, because you got more time to do shit then.
What we'll have to do at the end of each session is note down what time of day it is.
Yeah, yeah. Anti-Michael notes.
Yep.
To go with the anti-Michael squares. But yeah, so
we nearly had that in Rose's game.
Yeah, you arrive at the docks, and it seems that at a cursory glance, there's probably 30 people or so in just immediate glance on the docks between workers, shipwrights, and people of the ships.
Right, so I think we should first go and warn Derek that there's something in the area that might be trying to take control of his mind. I do think I remember the people at the docks mentioning something. Well, at the ship graveyard, mentioning about something about the southern end of the harbour.
Yeah,
being
that's
the one that was
that's the, and also that's the direction that people being afflicted are going. Yeah.
That's the information we did already get at the...
Yeah. No, the half-elven chap that you spoke with.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
So, I would say we probably don't need to move Derek too far. We could probably just make sure he's settled in at the northern end of the dock, and it should be fine.
Well, hang on, let me just roll a d6. On a 5 or a 6, he's already on the northern end. He's actually the very last ship in the dock. He's on the northernmost tip.
Okay.
I was lucky. Because obviously, depending on space and stuff, where he would have just gone in where there's space. But yeah, no, you managed to get one on the northern side, which, stroke of luck.
Yep. Okay. Well, we'll still go and just let him know that something in the area seems to be taking control of... It seems like, I would say, it's taking control of humanoid males at the moment. We don't know if it affects others. Just
be careful.
Just wanting to let you know and keep you informed. It should be on the southern end of the dock. I don't know if you've noticed anything when we were coming in. I know we were a little quick to get in this morning, but...
Only thing I noticed was the waters have whirlpools in them. Caves? Question mark.
This was to the south, yes?
A lot of the area around here seems like it has small currents where they shouldn't be.
They weren't here 2 weeks ago when we were last here.
Don't remember. Never think about it until you asked.
Okay. We'll have to keep an eye on those, but just be wary just in case.
The currents are weak. Not enough to pull me. They're only small.
It's not so much the currents, it's something trying to take over your mind.
Okay.
You have... Could you show me these currents and things if you were to kind of... The map, like... To show a map, could you show where the currents are?
No, but I could point at one with my nose. Take you to one on me.
Well, we'll save that for the moment as an option.
Yeah, essentially he's literally offering to like go above one of the whirlpools and be like, right, it's right under me, sort of thing.
Okay. Well, yeah, and I was thinking more on the lines of
I know what you mean. Yeah, the problem is
like,
he wouldn't have enough of a intelligence ability to like read maps and shit.
No, but it was kind of just like, okay, well,
yeah,
this is. I know what the general shape of the edge of this area looks like. And
no, I get that. I get that. Yeah, it's not something he is able to do with enough confidence that he would be correct. Do you know what I mean? He would certainly try, but his accuracy could be off.
Yeah, well, anything he can give us that might assist.
Yeah.
Well, if he can't be certain, then that's fine.
No, he wouldn't be able to.
Okie dokie.
But he could definitely at least go like on my right side, not far away. There's like I can feel a current or something because it's that. It's like it's literally you can feel the water like brushing past him and going into the ground.
Okay. We'll do that and have a look into that. But yeah, just wanted you to be on alert. You'll probably be around here later this evening to try and keep an eye out for it. Just see if we can't discover what's causing this issue. Do you need anything in the meantime? I know we need to restock food.
There's nothing I need at the moment. No. I will just be careful for anything affecting me.
Mm-hmm. Take care. We don't want to see you hurt.
Fian, do you do anything during this time?
Yeah.
Ash?
Ash has been speaking.
Is she speaking now?
She was, yeah.
I can't hear Ash.
Oh dear.
No dear.
I can hear Ash. I think we can all hear Ash.
I'm not taking the piss. I really can't. Hang on, let me leave and come back. Right, try that. Oh, she's gone.
Okay. I think you managed to experience the first part of the problem.
What?
No, it seems like if Ash did have a problem, you were able to find it, and then the rest of us, like...
Yeah, no,
realized...
I'm not even joking. Like, I really... Like, if she was speaking at all, then it wasn't even flashy. Like, you know when the green circle comes up? The green circle wasn't even lighting up on Ash as if she was even trying to speak.
You
back?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I can hear you now. I can hear you now. Have you been speaking for a while, Ash? And has it been like...
I was letting Evan handle like the ship important stuff, but
no, I would have just felt bad if you'd been trying to talk to me for ages and I've just ignored you. No, I genuinely couldn't fucking hear you. So is there anything
That's
you want
weird.
to do? Yeah, the circle wasn't even lighting up, but the fact everyone else could hear you as well is what blew my mind. I wonder if it was just a me issue, so that's why I thought leaving and coming back.
I don't know. But no, I've just kind of been looking around, letting Evan handle that, keeping him company. Derek stuff's kind of his business from Vian's perspective.
Okay.
But she tagged along just because she wanted to, be by the water.
It's nice. It goes slosh.
Yeah.
It's blue, mostly. So yeah, you finish speaking with Derek and just at least give him the heads up of something might be about. Just be careful, sort of thing.
Yep.
I would assume you would give him some sort of go north if you start hearing something suspicious.
Yeah, if something happens and he's doing that, just go north and then come back later.
When it's gone.
Yeah. Give it some time. And then
because oh no, I hear something suspicious, but I'll just sit here. You know what I mean?
So I say, if it's something suspicious and it seems if it's something suspicious and has no effect on him,
it's true.
It should be fine. We don't need him running off. But if it's like, oh, there's a problem, we'll be around to try and save him, to stop him at least from heading off. But just to warn him in case something had happened.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to? Because I believe there was a couple of things you wanted to do at the docks, right?
Yep. Well, the next thing, kind of. I noticed kind of Vian just sat and watching the water?
Yeah. I mean, she's not hiding what she's doing. She's just enjoying the scenery, I would imagine. Just taking it in.
Yeah, she just kind of wandered off while you were talking to Derek and is,
yeah, you're
probably
probably 5-10 foot away from the book, just like elbows on the bars of the ship and just kind of just staring out and just chilling.
I kind of head over after that.
All sorted?
We are over there. Are you okay over here?
Yeah.
You seem to be lost in thought for a moment.
I don't know. It's just kind of nice. I like swimming,
Want to go for a swim for a little bit?
Wasn't there something going on with nearby, or is it a good idea?
Well, we've got questions we need to be asking, but you look like you needed a moment.
Sure, I'll pretend this is productive and just go fishing around for a minute.
Sure.
Vian takes a second to slip down into just her chain dress underneath, so she's still got, plenty of modesty, plenty of protection, but
yeah.
Not swimming in mountains of...
Well, yeah, no, that's just asking for trouble. That's just asking to drown.
I mean, she literally can't drown at least, but...
Yeah, but you probably would be in a tangled heap.
Yeah. But yeah, she slips that off, just kind of crams it into her purse because at least her purse is bottomless. And then just hops into the water.
Okay. And just swim around and have fun? Or
she's gonna at least pretend to investigate. She's gonna look for weird water flows and just anything that seems out of place in the water, but I assume in a dock it's gonna be...
Just throw me a perception check.
Perception?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, you don't see too much. You actually do notice that there's a number of debris, cargo debris, probably some valuable things like the odd crate here and there has fell into the water and it's just kind of been fuck. You could probably, if you really scavenged the shores, you could probably find some valuables. You do feel they're very weak, and they're not enough to affect you swimming or anything like that. But you do feel these currents that pull in unnatural directions that you would have expected from a shoreline. And you would assume it's probably these whirlpools, the slipstreams that were mentioned.
Can I attempt to play with it a little bit with shape water? Just try to, like, it seems unnatural. Can I, like, try to fix it almost? Like, to see if it goes back or if it stays?
Right, so you settle it and then see if it goes back.
Yeah.
Okay, you do that. And it will eventually readjust back into this flow. And if you invest, would you like follow the stream to the? Because bear in mind the shore here is probably only 10, 20 foot deep at most. Would you go and see where it leads? Because you can kind of see the base of the shorebed almost. It's not like you diving into the deep unknown.
Yeah, she'll at the very least give it a little bit of an investigation. Like, she's not going to follow it like nose to the ground kind of status, but she'll at least try and like follow its general flow and
you will
see where it's
eventually
going.
come across that there's the ground is quite rocky, but there's obviously lots of sand as well on top. But like you can see portions where the sand is not there, and you can almost see these holes into the rocks where it leads deep in, and they're not very wide. They're probably like if you put your hands together into a circle, some of them are probably as big as that. They're very, very tiny porous sections of rock where the sand's been washed in, and it's creating this like pulling effect into it as the water's flowing. It's not enough to create like an actual visible whirlpool, but you can feel it with your hands and the body, and like you notice some of the chain loops on the shirt like vaguely, very gently pull from the pressure. But there's some you don't see, like it's not like hundreds of holes. You see dotted about probably 6, 7 maybe, and like I said, the biggest one you find is probably like an apple size, and there are some that are like you could barely fit a finger in there.
Can I try to freeze one of the smaller holes? Or just like put a cap of ice over it, like not freeze it all the way down, but just like
yeah. So like a disc of ice.
Yeah.
You could do that, and it would stop it, and you would notice that it would basically create like an air pocket, because you would see the light, the color of the ice change, where the water's no longer touching the ice, and the underside it's airy now. Like so, it is like being sucked somewhere, and now the ice is there blocking the water flow. The water would stop that flow, and you would notice that it's created like this tunnel of air underneath.
That can be for someone smarter than me to figure out.
Cool though.
Like, she's gonna at least pocket that information, but she's not gonna pry too much harder for fear of like breaking the ocean or something that she doesn't understand.
You break the ocean.
Like, oh no, I clogged all the holes and now just there's nowhere for the water to go. I don't know.
So that's what global warming actually is. Someone blocked up all the holes, and then the water had nowhere to go, so it rose. You took the plug out? No, you put a plug in, sorry.
Pull back in.
Someone take the goddamn plug out. Yeah, in like a day or two, the shoreline's going to have risen by like a foot, and everyone's going to be freaking out. Going to turn Dunvast into the Netherlands. And it's all because of one little ice disc. But yeah, other than that, it's pleasant. You have fun. You will eventually return once you are tired, had enough, some mixture of both.
Yeah, she pops back up once she's gotten like enough information, and then just played around a little bit more.
Yeah.
I figured out the water seems to be going inside somewhere. Like there's a chamber or tunnel or something. I don't really know.
And just for the vagueness of, it looked natural. It didn't look man-made. It was very jagged and rocky.
Yeah, just I would assume, like, theoretically, if it was an old formation, it wouldn't be... Yeah. It wouldn't be so weird. It would have settled of some descript.
Yeah.
At least that's Van's, like, very loose interpretation of. Just like, yeah, it's... Even if it's natural, it doesn't seem old. Or if it is old, it's just there's weird whirlpools here all the time kind of thing.
It is strange. I mean, Derek did report that he can't quite remember them being here last time, so... Maybe they're a new formation.
I don't really know, especially because, again, I'm not normally from around here. I don't know if you guys just have weird water or something, but, like, there were these little holes, and if I clogged, like, water seems to be going into them, and if I closed them, like, capped them off, they were hollow inside.
I have no idea. I'm not exactly from round here or a water person either.
But, like, if it's, like, if stuff was flowing down there, there had to be somewhere for it to be, like, flowing, I would imagine.
More than likely.
So, if they're a new feature, that means there's a new feature, like, inside of there almost or something.
But yeah, probably. Or something that's finally... It's always been there, just there's a new crack that's formed or something.
Yeah. I don't fully know or understand it. I thought it was weird, and because we're looking for weird, I thought it'd be worth mentioning.
I know who I'd normally ask for more information, but we'll just have to do that, and probably have to spend some time at the library at some point to resolve that. But I think we should probably have a talk with a few sailors and maybe see if there's anyone here, probably someone in charge that we could speak to.
Yeah, if you want to ask the questions, I can probably help butter them up for the questions.
Might as well. You wanna guy off and change, or
No.
let's go?
You go and look for some of the dockhands, preferably some that aren't hugely busy, and manage to garner their attention. It's easy enough. Like, you ain't gonna fucking roll for anything.
Yep.
You come across a couple that have just dumped a large box. That two of them have like carried Evo off one of the ships and just kind of waiting for a minute and go, hello?
Hello.
You need something moving off one of your ships?
Not at the moment. There might be an order to put some stuff on it later, but at the moment we're here looking into other things at the moment.
Alright.
We're part of a group that's tasked to look into this mysterious singing some of you have been hearing.
Oh yeah, there's been a few of us that have heard it, but didn't realise they were actually doing anything about it.
Well, I mean, it's more personal for me. I mean, could you imagine if, like, look, I'm a pretty good singer, so if people are attracted to somebody else's singing, I'm kind of taking that a little personally, not gonna lie. So, like, if you could point me in her direction.
In her direction?
Well, isn't it? You guys are hearing a weird noise off in the distance.
I'd say, aren't we? Well, our information that we've heard so far, is it some sort of singing, some sort of female singing?
Well,
or are we wrong with that one?
Well, it sounds like a melody, but I don't know who it fucking is. It could be a woman, I suppose. But I've heard it, but not been affected by it, Lord. Like, not like some of the other people have. But yeah, it sounds like opera singing almost. Like, you know, that weird, like, oh, sort of tone.
And you're not quite able to tell who's singing, you just know it is singing.
It sounds like it's in your head, almost. It's like, I couldn't tell you, like, which way it goes, but I know the people that get bothered by it want to go down that way. Off the docks. Yeah? Miss?
Sorry, I'm just, so it doesn't... You haven't been affected by it at all?
I've heard it, but not been done anything with.
Okay, and it was in your head, kind of?
Yeah. I managed to, like, shake it out, sort of thing, because I heard the stories about what happened with some people.
So you kind of realised what was going on, and
yeah, just kind of give myself a wake-up call. I threw a bucket of water over my face.
Would you mind if I tried to replicate it? I'm, well practiced at singing to a decent degree. I know it probably can't compare if it's like ringing around in your head, but
Sure. But,
Try and be careful. We don't want it to do too much, otherwise the people around here might end up. If it does sound like it, people might start thinking you're the problem.
all right. How many people are within 60 feet of me?
probably at a rough guess, about 15, 20.
That's a lot. I don't know if I want to risk that.
Dragon's within 60 feet.
Doing down there? Come up. You don't need to hide underwater.
Yeah, it's a water dragon just under the shoreline.
Hang on, is it a water dragon or just a dragon that can breathe underwater? Because there's two different. Well,
No,
three different.
dragons from chat.
Ah.
I technically do get to choose a number of within 60 feet of me, so I can't just choose him, I would imagine.
Yeah, I would say you could just choose the number 1 and make sure you're closest to him.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't be an issue, yeah.
Diane's gonna pull out a trick she hasn't gotten to really use much.
Oh, God.
Enthralling performance. She attempts to mimic the out of character, referenced siren call effectively.
Mm-hmm. So it's a wisdom save DC or be charmed by you.
For an hour.
Fuck, alright. So he has
He
has a flat wisdom. 13, I believe, fails.
Versus 17 DC, yeah.
No.
So she's just like, yeah, did it sound something like this? And she just goes up and down the scale, just kind of like playing with it a little bit, but like locking eye contact with him and trying to push it into him, so to speak.
And he will put up. He tries to be stern faced with it. Yeah, it sounds quite a bit like. And then you'll kind of watch as his physical recoilment kind of just eases back. So I don't have a dice roller dragon. I'm sorry, dude. I might get one for shit like that, just as a giggle. And you'll kind of watch as he's half leaning back, and it kind of just eventually comes back forward as he kind of just like keeps his eyes on you. Yeah, like that.
Fan just kind of like uses one of her fingers to just kind of poke it up inside as discreetly as she can.
Do you try and make sure you poke above the ribs, or?
She's not looking, but she is also relatively short. She is 4'9", so
probably in the kidney.
No, probably the hip, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Because it's like where her arms would end is like her thigh. Probably in his thigh even.
I mean, I'm tall, but I didn't think I was that tall.
Well, no, because she's not lifting her arms. Put your arm down and then just kind of poke out.
I'm gonna just jab aside. Okay. Nice. We think we have some idea what it is then?
Thank you so much for your help.
Do you break the charm, or can you break the charm? I'm just want to check, because if you want to, I'm just seeing if you can willingly end it early.
After an hour, if it takes damage, if I attack it, or if it witnesses me attacking others.
So there's no mention that you can break this early.
I mean, I could just slap him as well, but...
Yeah, you could. But you're not going to.
Not unless told to.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You have been so helpful. Thank you for this information.
No, it's fine. You're a good singer. You're a good singer.
Oh, no. Oh. Evan, you had a...
Yes, well, I think you've been able to do that. And all your friends say it's coming from that direction.
Yeah.
Another question. Have you noticed anything unusual about the waters near here recently?
No, not really. Why?
Oh, she went for a little bit of a swim earlier, and apparently there are several small currents forming. Apparently, there's a few cracks in the seabed where the water seems to be escaping to somewhere beneath.
Don't go in the water too much. I normally stay on the dock and load and unload. I wouldn't know.
Is there anybody you would know who would be in charge of kind of mapping it out, just to make sure there's nothing, nothing would affect the dock in time?
The closest people would be the fishermen. They'd probably feel it in their bait and reel. If anything was pulling.
Okay, and there's nobody who kind of takes a survey of the region, basically, to make sure that there's nothing. Basically, Danny, I'm kind of going for nobody takes like kind of architect structural checks.
Yeah, no, I figured that's what you're getting. The only person that may do is Thorin. But he only bothers if he's looking at maybe extending the docks more, which we haven't done for a few years.
Can you? Do you know where Thorin would be right now?
Yeah, kind of look over, like around the dock. You see the tiefling fellow over there, and he'll point out to a guy that's currently writing, and then he hands like something to someone else and he's currently talking with a couple of other people. That's Thorin.
Okay. Well, I thank you for your assistance, and when I thank him, I very forcefully
thud him.
Well, pat him on the back, but just enough to basically enough to forcefully
snap him out of
him.
it. Yeah. Not enough to like hurt him, but enough to snap it.
Yeah, not so much like it's a vulgar slap across the face.
I get what you mean. Yeah. For fuck was that?
That was a replication of what the others were affected with, but we were able to. Thank you for being able to help prove
a replication.
You were lost for a moment. You're awake now, aren't you?
I've got work to be doing.
Yes, so it's fine.
And he will.
Thank you.
The crate that he was messing with, he will briskly leave behind.
Mm-hmm. Head over to Thorin.
And you guys quickly turn about and go in the opposite direction of this poor dock worker you have just terrorized. I'm not going to deal with it, obviously, with Mini Dragon. I'll do it after session, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Next D&D, it'll be in place, if I remember. But yeah, you go over to Thorin, who goes, now look, I've told you for the last time. Please, make sure that ship doesn't go off its moorings. You understand me? Don't want a mistake of what happened last time, because of the rocks underneath can cut into the ship, am I understood? Otherwise it'd be coming out of your pay if there's a hole in it. Yes, Thorin, apologies. Good. Well, fuck off. And then as he kind of half turns, he sees you. Right. Hello, how can I help you?
Hello, we're here investigating into your song issues.
Oh, right, you're investigating the weird ongoings. Right,
yes.
How can I help you?
Right, a couple of things first. Do you know anything about a disturbance in the water recently? There seems to be some sort of new currents forming.
Not heard too much about it, but I'm aware that there's some cavern systems beneath the beds here. Not too much.
Oh, my friend here just took a little bit of a swim earlier and was able to find that some of them seem to be opening up a bit.
Fian Wave's still half dripping wet.
Right, well, I'll send some people to have a look if it's getting that bad. But last time I checked, they were small enough not to worry about.
They're small at the moment, but we just thought you should be aware if not. don't want half of your dock falling away all of a sudden.
Yeah, I know a couple druids. Maybe they can move the earth or something around it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all you found, or is there things you need me for?
Doing that, is there any specific? Well, we've heard that it's somewhere on the southern end. Is there anyone in particular that's been having issues with this singing, or I know it seems to be the men at the moment, but is there any particular people who constantly get caught in it, or?
Well, no one's been caught in it twice, but De Vries is one of the chaps that most recently got involved with it. I want to speak to him. Other than that, Marguerite was, again, probably someone who snapped him out of it, although she didn't get bothered by it at all.
Have people been saying anything when they've been charmed, do you know, or are we best asking, like, Marguerite for that?
Say that again.
Has anybody been saying anything whilst they've been hearing this music, whilst they've been under its effect?
They kind of go slack-jawed a little bit, and just kind of go into, like, when someone daydreams.
Yeah, it's sounding more and more like a bit of charm magic from what we're hearing.
Yeah, I've heard witches do things like that.
They're talented, quite talented people do that normally. We've been able to.
Well, if it's some magic, then surely you can, like, track it or something. I've heard you can trace it.
That's what we're hoping, but we're just trying to make sure we're pointing in the right direction before we start going.
Well, if you want a first-hand experience of how it affects them, De Vries is going to be your one. This voice is wandering terribly, and I hate it. Shut up, Rose. Don't you laugh at me.
He just suddenly has Tourette's and gets really angry at himself for a moment.
Yeah, just this inner conflict with this Rose.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's just nice to know I'm not the only one who has a wandering accent sometimes.
So what it is, it's certain voices. Some I've got bang on lock, and it's just practice. I'll eventually snap out of it, and the same for you. You just got to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm seeing a name, and I'm looking at it like, is that how you're spelling Marguerite? But.
March kids!
I did kind of look at it like,
No, I'm good. It is a misspelling.
Okay. Marguerite or Butterboob.
Please go and speak with Marge Tits if you don't mind.
Sorry. So, Marguerite, do that and do it. Right, well, we'll have a look at those. Any general time that we need to be aware of? Early morning, late night?
Well, certainly more people have been affected in the sunset, but we've had people complain of feeling it at all different times, although sometimes I believe they're just playing it up to go home.
Oh no, I'm being compelled, I must go and rest. Otherwise known as, I want a drink.
Most likely, but no, at least a couple of the fellas, the ones that actually have been affected, it seems more sunsetty, but I've had a couple in the daytime and one at night as well. I think the last count it was 8 instances of this happening.
Is it all in the kind of same vicinity? Like,
yeah, you see the fourth ship over there. Usually between that one and the one closer.
So anything from that specific? So hang
people
on.
Have heard that, like, so basically the two most southern ships on the dock.
Okay.
Because this dock's like a line, and it's like a taxi carpool almost.
Yeah.
But people have heard it up until about third ship from the most northern point.
So from anywhere from here to all the way down there,
Yeah.
and it's not like 4 or 5 people next to one another. It's all over the dock.
Yeah, it's almost as if like a bard's performing on the docks. They all hear it around them, but there's no performer in sight. There's no horn or whatever. There's no stone playing this music. No one's found what, where, who. The legend of Marge Tit is now in my chat, apparently.
Kind of having a quick little look, like kind of having a look around. The range that's being kind of displayed.
It's a good half of the dock that's been absorbed by... Whenever this instance occurs, it's a good half the dock. Just for the sake of, about 6 or 7 ships fit in a line on this. So if it's third ship from the most northern point where it seems to stop, it's about half, maybe a little more.
Mm-hmm. So this is like a few 100 feet. Is what
Yeah. It seems
So-
the ones that get physically pulled are more focused to the south, but it's the melody can at least be heard across the dock for the most of it.
Okay, so I'm able to determine that whatever the point of origin of the
It's
charm
coming
would be,
south.
it's coming from the south and it's bigger than I presume whatever Vian just did.
Oh,
it is
way more.
It's a bigger scale.
I mean, just on the dockland itself, it's near triple. Let alone how much further it goes to where the actual source is. It's way more. What Vian did compared to what this is it's fractions.
Vian would have kept that at about 5 people, maybe a little bit more.
Whereas this is...
If being generous.
Whereas this is at least being heard by hundreds. At a potential maximum sort of thing. And it has, on occasion, enthralled multiple people at the same time. Not very often, but it has. Like I said, there's only been 8 instances of this happening so far. But that's enough of an issue that they want it sorted, because, dock workers just wandering off into the fucking ocean is pretty bad.
Mm-hmm. I think we should be able to do that. I'm sure there'll be other members of our group that might be by who may have further questions. I hope you don't mind if you have further questions, we come and see you. We want to get this resolved and out of your way as soon as possible.
Oh no, for sure. So no, the more questions, the better. And if you need anything, or if anything occurs while you're here, I hope you can deal with it. If it's a creature, kill it. If it's a person, arrest it. If it's an object, destroy it.
Whatever it is, we will try and remove it as a problem to you in some way.
Good.
Right. Also, just as a quick little thing, I might need to source some wood in the meantime and I'll point to our ship at the far end.
If you leave a note with me of how much, I'll be sure to arrange it with your docking fees.
Of course, we will. Once we do that, we will let you know. I think we currently have I think we have enough for the moment, but we might need some more before we leave. So
we have ample supply on hand at the moment, so please.
We don't need to find timber. We just need.
Oh, we have even more than. If you're not bothered about quality, then we have much more.
As long as you've got enough of it for our needs, we're perfectly fine.
I'm sure we can arrange something, but please go and investigate first. Ask any more questions you need, and if your companions come, I will answer their questions as well.
I thank you for your assistance.
If you'll excuse me, I'm just make sure that Jonathan over there doesn't fuck it up again, and he'll kind of half step away and go, Jonathan, stop! Fucking idiot. And he will kind of go.
Jonathan runs off.
As he kind of just walks away, is there like another person nearby, like somebody who was like taking notes or something, or?
No, he was kind of being given notes and like to read over and then hand back.
Yeah. Like, was there is he kind of charged off and there was a bit of a queue forming or something?
a couple people were kind of waiting for him, and yeah, they're kind of just, oh, fuck's sake.
I kind of just told someone, it's like, this Divri and Marguerite, what do they look like? Where would we find them?
Oh, De Vries is over there. I think he's working on the Rising Sun ship at the minute. Marguerite, I don't know actually. I think she might be back in town.
Well, that's someone at least. We'll go and over have a look. Apologies for taking your time. I know we're getting in your way, but we hope to try and have your problem solved.
It's fine, Petal. So yeah, De Vries at least pointed out to you as you guys are almost being pushed pillar to post, like to this guy, to this guy, to this guy. But it's kind of, the thing is, obviously, you guys not knowing the people here, it's an organised, it's a mess, but to them it's an organised mess. Like, they know where everyone is and where everything is almost.
Because they know who each person is important for, and like...
Yeah. Whereas obviously you guys probably would be much more efficient if you knew, but that's the consequence of being adventurers. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But you get there eventually. You find De Vries, who's currently cracking open crates and inspecting the wares inside. Not hiding it. He's not like stealing or anything. You probably assume he's just like making sure what's been declared is there.
Can I just do as I'm going up for nothing else? Can I just do a quick investigation check, see if I can spot anything that's slightly hidden in it, or?
Yeah, it'd be a perception check, but yeah.
Any halflings hiding in there?
Yeah, because I class as perception is looking, investigation is hands-on, like lifting things, moving. You know what I mean? He's literally like leaning over, like half inside this crate, lifting and moving. And you can see he's filthing fabrics at the minute.
Yeah, I'm not fully thinking. It's just kind of like see if I spot anything that he might miss or something.
Yeah, no, that's fine. What you see him going through some coloured linens at the minute. Like, these have seemingly been put through a loom machine into bolts and then dyed. And you can currently see there seems to be about a couple dozen or so of various colours. Nothing really sticks out as sus. No emergency button needs to be pressed here, my friend.
Nope, that's fine.
As he kind of gets back out the crate, just dusts his tunic off where he'd been leaning on the thingy and checks the side of the box. Yes, correct. And you'll see him like get a rubber mallet and put the lid back and go slam the nails back in.
Kind of.
He's not paid. I'm gonna say he's completely unaware you guys are there. He's literally just in his work.
I'm making sure I don't break his stride in his investigation, and then when he seems to be at a moment I can interrupt.
Yeah. He's currently hammering the nails back into the crate.
And just wait till like the last one's nailed in.
Yeah. And as he picks up his pry bar to go to the next one, I'd imagine you stop him and...
De Vries?
Yeah?
You got a moment for a couple of questions? With the ones looking into the whole singing charm thing at the moment.
Right, yeah.
Hear that you've been one of the...
He'll throw the pry bar onto the crate. Right.
Yeah, you're one of the ones most recently
I take
affected.
it... Yeah, I was going to take you coming because it got to me.
It got to you. You seem to be one of the latest ones. Maybe you have more memory than what the others have.
Yeah.
Can you describe what was happening at the time?
We all side hearing the singing, and it's not the first time now, but we try and ignore it as best as we can. Some people cover their ears and stuff, and I just tried to just get on with it. And it felt like a pressure, like someone was squeezing my head for a moment, and then all of a sudden the pressure went enough, and then I kind of stopped hearing the voice, or at least it sounded muffled, like as if it was in the background in my head. And I just felt my legs start walking underneath me, even though I weren't telling him to do that. Started going off the pier and towards the thicket, and then I got fucking right hooked in the gob by Marguerite.
Right. So, obviously she was unaffected. And you say it was into the thicket?
Well,
Was
that's where I was walking, but it felt like I had to go much further, like following the water's edge.
Do you know how far? Was there anything that was...
I just felt like that was the way to go. That was the right thing to do. The good thing to do. I had to do it. I felt compelled.
Did you feel like it was far to go, or was it a bit more...
It just felt like one foot in front of the other. It felt like one more step, just one more step, and repeated until I got cocked.
Is interesting. Sounds more concerning than, well, more and more concerning that it sounds like one of us might have to let it go to try and find out where it leads.
Was it along? At any point, did you get your feet wet? Like, did you start swimming?
No.
Margaret was quick on that one.
But like, you were headed into the ocean.
Oh yeah.
Thicket. Okay. Sorry, I'm a little confused there because he was apparently going into the thicket, but he knows he was going to the ocean.
Well, yeah, I felt compelled to follow the water's edge. But I had to. If you look at the pier, you have to step onto the ground before you go down the water.
Okay, so water's edge.
Essentially, the pier's slightly raised, so we would have to step off the pier onto the earth and then round. You get what I mean?
I'm about to say, sorry, my thought was when you said like the thicket, it was like, okay, slightly
not
inland,
like into a
but
forest.
along
No, like thicket, as in just like there's like a few trees and a few bushes. It's a small thicket.
Yeah, okay, just heading along.
Yeah. My bad. Poor word choice.
It's a thin kit, not a thick it.
Dead
Just took a gulp of tea, you twat.
Oops.
Oh, I fucking need
You
a
alright?
shot. Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Thank you.
that was bad.
You should feel bad.
Oh dear.
But yeah.
She I'm about to say her power is transcended. She can now affect the DM.
Well, yeah, no. Like some people have gone into the water, but not only for a few feet. Like when someone's been taken off and no one's noticed until late, where someone's had to fucking jump the pier onto the shoreline.
Do you know anything that would be further south that might be someplace that you'd go to, like caves or something?
Well, I know some of the fishermen have sworn down there that there's some good fishing spots before, but not about caves or anything.
Have the fishermen said anything about it being affected?
Oh yeah, a lot of people fucking have. Although they don't go down there no more, or at least not for a while. But they used to say that down there they used to catch a few of the like big fish, like ones that probably have escaped the fishermen for a while.
Okay. Is there anything? I know there's been no report of any of the duck people missing. Is there any fishermen that might be affected that you haven't seen or heard from in a while?
No, I don't think. I know they've been hearing it, and I don't know if any of them have been bothered by it, but I don't think any of them's gone missing. Tell you, actually, I do know one person that has stopped turning up recently, and it's a vagabond. Someone who used to live in the you see over there, about a few hundred foot back, the tree line. He used to live in there and then beg off the merchants coming in. I ain't seen him for a week or two.
At the same time as the singing starts?
Well, the singing's been going on for a couple of weeks now, but yeah. I ain't seen him for about a week or so.
Definitely over there you still live, right? Yeah?
Half elf, dude. Bit plump, bit haggard, but...
That, and not likely that he would have jumped to ship or anything.
I mean, if he did, he'd probably going for a better thing, because he never used to get much. I know some of the sailors he used to throw scraps of food. things that the ships were going to throw away that they didn't need.
Yeah.
Yeah, he drank, so...
That's something at least. Right. I think we might need to go and have a check over there. Is there anything else you can remember? The compulsion was just to walk simply. You didn't feel compelled to get there quick, move fast. It was just to go.
I just went, like, walking, like, no, I weren't running or anything. I just felt this compulsion to take one step, one more step, one more step. I didn't know how far it was going to take me. Every time I took one step, I just felt this compulsion to take another, and then another. There was no goal, or at least not that I know of. I just keep going. Every step was a goal, and every time I hit it, they'd move the goalpost back once more, and I just kept feeling like I needed to go one more, and one more, and one more after that.
Did it feel disheartening whilst you were in it, or did you feel more euphoric, or was there no emotion?
In a really fucked up way, it felt good at first. Like the singing was really pleasant and really fucking nice, but it panicked me at the same time because I could think, but I had no control. And when I realised that my body was walking, and it was like pushing a cart, and you can see it, but you can't do anything about it. And I was the cart and being pushed, and it fucking terrified me for like a hot minute, not gonna lie. But it felt fucking amazing at first. And then the realisation
kicked in, it felt too late. Sorry you had to experience that, but
yeah.
Well, we'll go and have a look into where this guy was living over there. We've got a few compatriots that may have some more questions, so I hope you don't mind speaking to them if they have more questions.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah. I'm just here as the resident charm expert.
Yes, she normally helps us try and resolve this. I think she's had a few ideas with what you've said, so I think you've been very useful.
Yeah, I mean, if it gets fixed, sure. Yeah, I hope the fella living in the trees is all right. And he kind of says that as you guys walk away. It's like to himself. Just like that. I hope he's fucking all right.
Okay. I presume we've been down here long enough now that the group's been able to catch
Well, yeah,
up with
I know
us.
the group was heading to the docks to meet up with you guys, and I would say that it is probably, as you guys are coming away from the docks to go and check the tree line, you guys would probably see the oncoming rest of your group. So, Rose, you might, not Michael.
Yeah, as everyone can tell, because it was all over the street. I wanted to have a chat with some people before we got to.
I don't know why that showed up. It shouldn't have.
I think it's because I did it to Danny T rather than
GM. Yeah.
So
it's
I
because
think
what it is, the way I've got the screen set up is when you click join as player when you're the GM, I right click and do that in a new tab, and then this is the player equivalent. Whereas if you do it to GM, it should only show to the one.
I haven't seen. Hang on. So what? There was a message.
Rose sent me a request.
It's visible on stream.
Oh, it'll be visible on stream, but we couldn't.
All it is, it was just so because if you guys are watching the stream to talk with anyone in chat, blah blah blah, you know, it's fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, do it to GM in future players.
Yeah, it wasn't anything bad. It was
no.
Would we have time to have a chat on the way? Because obviously, guys literally covered half the docks at this point. So
yeah, I know. I was kind of like. At what point are these guys going to come? Like, I thought you guys were going to show up after we'd spoken to Thorin, and then it's like, oh no, we're thinking to. Okay.
I will say at this point, as you guys are leaving the docks, you guys had the chance to meet up, but Harold wishes to have a conversation on the route, so this would be on the way. Hera, speak now or forever hold your D20s.
So we would have picked up Boomer by this point.
We would, but it's just BRB'd.
Yeah. Can we assume that unless he comes back and says, no, I wouldn't want that, he'd be with us?
We can wibbly wobbly as needed, but yeah. I would say
So
because to get to the docks, you would kind of have to go past the church, and you would see him eyeing up the flora, and you would be like, "Oi, you, come here."
yeah. Harold will pull back slightly so that you've got almost like two pairs. So if Greytail would be okay with it, I would have let Dira and Boomer talking in front of us and kind of pulled back slightly, so out of visual. Greytail, I have a little question for you specifically.
More? Okay.
Just not to do with Evan, more to do with you.
Yes.
Are you okay going back into your past? You seem a little reticent to do so.
Well, I don't know what I'm going to find, so there's a little hesitation, but, I was just going to leave it till we passed through.
And that you are scared about your past is more.
Not particularly scared of it, but I've never really needed one. So I don't know what I'm going to find.
Please excuse my ignorance, but you don't know what you're going to find in your past. Haven't you already experienced? What?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. No,
it doesn't at all.
For some reason, I forgot. I didn't know where I came from. Parents. We found out that maybe there was some sort of magical means of removing it. Maybe. I don't know.
Oh. So it is not that you don't have a past because you're an urchin or you grew up on the streets. It seems more you had a past, but then it got erased.
That seems to be what happened. Yeah.
Oh. How?
No idea. I was looking into it with Cass, but then she buggered off.
This is the one that you will talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope you know, and I don't know if I need to say this, I'm not here to replace Kat. I don't want to do that. She seems more of a nuisance than an actual help as well.
She was a nuisance, but she was a very useful nuisance. She knew what she was on about.
It seems like you guys don't have that anymore. Except for Vian. Vian seems very intelligent.
Yeah. Wait, hang on.
He's like, yeah, I got with that.
I am hanging on.
Well, she was the intellectual book type. Loved libraries. Asked way too many questions.
Have you not noticed that Vian reads every night? I know I share a room with her, but she reads literally every night. You guys don't notice things about each other?
Not when they're done in private rooms.
Oh no, she's literally. Have you not seen her put her books in her bag many times? And she's asking multiple people about reading.
Not me, though. Yeah, she reads. I'm sure she's very clever.
She is. But anyway, that's not the point I was getting at, and obviously with Cass and everything. My main point was, are you okay to go down this path?
Got to do it at some point. So, yeah.
I agree. Just be careful, I guess.
Oh, I will.
Yeah. And more so for if it is that you are some sort of lord, I believe. That is what they've all been saying, unless that is a joke.
That's probably a joke.
I just mean, like, unless your family is of I don't know how it works because there's like clan leaders and stuff here. Where I'm from, there is, leaders of houses and stuff like that. It's a bit different. Would that mean that you're kind of a clan?
Wouldn't somebody have recognised me by now?
It depends. I apologize, but I don't really understand the reproduction of tabaxis as much. But maybe you have like your mother's colouring and no one recognized you to your dad, or maybe it wasn't just your memory they erased.
No idea. I think
No.
we get a mix of both parents for colouring.
Okay.
Would I know that?
I would say you know about them burbs and them bees. I would say you would probably
Would I
gain.
know that?
Probably.
They're having this conversation so you couldn't hear. But...
It's probably
Yeah.
like you'd get the markings of one colour of the other, or vice versa, or maybe it's like a mix.
Yeah, so
It's
I was
basically
told
taking
I've got.
colours and markings of column A and B, mix it in a pot, and whatever comes out is what you got.
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't want
I
to
know
say
I've got
if
the
it was.
markings of my mother, and the grey comes from the dad.
Yeah, you could say
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's more your interpretation and like whatever you wish.
I think that's what you told
So
me.
hang on, Grey Tail. It's like you look just like your father, but you have your mother's marks.
Yeah.
Oh, it's quite sweet. I didn't know if it was like, with cat breeds how, because I didn't want to say it's like a cat.
Yeah,
but
no, it kind of is. But for the sake of simplicity, we will say that tabaxis inherit the markings from one parent and the colour from the other. Just for the sake of simplicity for this conversation. So it could be that he's got dad's colours, mom's marks, mom's colours, dad mark.
It is quite fascinating, though. We have such a varied party, except for obviously Evan being human.
Oh, fuck! You just call Evan boring.
Even actually, I'm the most boring to me because I've grown up around Drow all my life. So Evan's actually a bit unusual, and we don't have many humans back home. Most believe us to be evil. Does that make sense? We're not, but
You sure?
No, I'm not evil. I mean, I was once, but that's a different story. I'm trying not to go. Trying to stay away.
I used to be a serial killer, but now I'm not so sure.
You used to be evil.
Serial killer is a little bit of a strong word. Mass murderer, maybe.
So I
It's not
killed.
the same thing.
I didn't kill multiple people in a single order. I just killed a group of people once.
In one go.
You're exactly right, or just lots of very small events, but not one at a time and like in a psychopathic way. Anyway, this is all out of character. Ignore this. I mean, evil is kind of a strange word, don't you think?
I guess.
Sorry?
I guess. I mean, depends what you're classing as evil. People do bad things.
I don't think people are inherently good or evil. I believe it is the actions you do that are either good or evil.
Yeah.
A bad person does good things and gets redeemed. A good person can also do bad things and find themselves in a bad situation.
Yeah.
Some people also, at the end of the day, every monster or person I've ever met that does bad things thinks they're doing it for the right reasons. It's subjective. Which is why I know I grate on, is that the word? I'm hard on Evan sometimes, but I think he thinks he's doing the right thing, which is why I kind of understand it. That's all.
Yeah, I get it, but I wish if he's got a plan, I wish he'd tell us about it.
Yeah. To be honest, I get that with quite a few of your group. Obviously, yeah, quite a bit, but I think Deer occupies in that space of, if I act really stupid, then people won't ask me questions. And, a little bit like when you're a child.
That's what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah, it's like, when you're a child and your mother's like, oh, you need to sit still on this bench and not talk for 6 hours, so you make the most noise possible so you never have to be in that situation again.
Not really.
No. You're asking the person who's got no parents what it's like to have parents.
Oh dear.
I kind of wish I didn't have parents. Would you like to switch? You can have mine. Like, they are shits. I hate them.
No, I'm good.
Sure?
Yeah.
Sometimes, be thankful what you have today, and I am sorry, obviously, about your parents. I did not realize it was an actual thing. You all seem to be more than what you appear to be. I'm finding that very quickly. Like, can I ask you a question? A secret question.
Do I actually have an option?
You can decide not to answer.
Okay, deal.
Why does Deer keep on asking people if they want to run a country, and then Evan got very angry about it when we were all in the tavern?
Because he says it all the time, and it's the joke's getting old.
It didn't seem like a joke. Evan's fury seemed real. Not just mere irritation.
That's just a thing from the past. It doesn't really matter anymore.
Okay. Like I said, you didn't need to answer. But I just found it rather odd, because at the end of the day, if there was something about ruling a country, then maybe you would like to stop somebody from constantly asking literally everybody you come across. I've heard it like 60 times and I've only been with you a matter of weeks.
Yeah, it's an old joke that got old quickly.
Okay. I thought jokes were supposed to be funny.
It was at first.
Okay. Oh, look! I think I can spot Leanne over there.
Hello, what's taking us so long?
We went to speak to the and we'll join up at this point and be like,
yeah,
like it's that across the docks, you can see them like a mile away.
You
kind
guys,
of wave.
yeah, you guys are leaving to go and look for the homeless person's abode or at least sleeping spot, as these guys are coming down.
So the way of dealing with all this, I'm like looking behind, looking in. Like, what's going on?
You're walking in front, but sure.
I'm just looking behind. Like, what are you talking about?
Bobby?
He hasn't spotted Vianne.
Oh, and then I will point out the very, Vianne's not somebody that melds into the part. Neither is Evan, to be honest, because he has. You wearing plate armor today?
Nope, I'm not wearing anything. I'm wearing the.
You're not wearing
ragged
anything.
clothes.
Oh my!
Ragged clothes at the moment. I'm still wearing.
It's not Evan because he's naked.
I'm wearing. I'm not wearing armor.
Look,
I'm wearing the ragged
if
clothes.
I've got a topless bounty hunt,
No, you've got. Yeah. Well, that's your problem. I was able to correct. I corrected what I stated.
We're naked. We're clothes.
I'd say I'm still wearing the disguise clothes.
I'll put my hand on one side of Greytail's head, like going round to the back of his neck, and kind of move him so that he can peer straight ahead and see Deanne and Evan, who are literally like ahead of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but in fairness, Hilra and Vianne are doing that like literal mile away, like we lock eyes and just close that distance.
Yeah. So, you guys have been busy. We have been busy. We have the contract is all set up. We have they're adding in addendums for if we actually manage to remove, and I mean remove as in move it elsewhere, because I'm getting that it might be something to do very similar to Uvian, and I didn't want it to be that we kill somebody just because, they're a bit misguided.
I'd rather not kill anybody in general, if that could.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get that in the contract?
Well, there is also another addendum that if it is a negative thing, then we will take care of the problem. As
Probably
in,
could
and
have
I
just
will be
used
the
the word resolve.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Probably could have just used the word resolve to keep things simple.
And then either way, the job's resolved then.
You have to sometimes be very specific with contracts, because if you say they resolve the problem, they could say you haven't technically resolved the problem because it still happened. People are very funny with actual things. You have to make sure that there are no, contract work. There's no loopholes. You've got to make sure.
I usually just make somebody else do that.
I got that point. They also suggested that we speak to some Thorin, who is the dock master on site.
Yep, already spoke to him. He was able to point us out towards a couple of the people who'd been affected. It seems to be anywhere from an L point to...
Yeah,
normally,
and I would say, for the sake of as well, Boomer would contribute the bits from the cleric that he spoke with as well.
So it's anywhere from, at max range, somewhere at about that ship south, but normally somewhere about there south.
I mean, there's something I find rather strange about this all. And I don't know if you guys are picking up on it as well. So, we've been told that it's to do with that men are wanting to follow this voice, right? And women don't. They hear a mournful song.
Uh-huh.
Did you get the same information from your side?
Yep.
Okay. And you guys, would you also say about noticing the holes coming from underground?
Yep.
Okay. I just mean...
Just for the sake of Haora, make a history, arcana, religion, anyone you choose, just generally.
Yeah, because I'm getting feeling like we're being led to believe it's a siren. I don't think it's a siren, but I will roll because there might be a different thing. What was it, arcana, history, or what was it called?
Religion. Either one, whichever you think is more applicable to the situation, or which one you're better in.
Basically, whatever intelligence roll you think would be applicable.
Yeah, and depending on the roll and what one you roll.
I'm going to roll. Oh my god, arcana's my best.
Or I would even allow a nature check to some degree.
Well, I think personally, even though it's not my best, but history, because this sounds a little manipulative. It's not my best roll.
The only reason why I'm asking you specifically is because, never mind. The reason
on that is it something to specifically to do with fate or like my
I was going to basically because the reason why I was going to give you the roll, Rose, was because you guys are leaning towards the possibility of it being Fae. Both you and Vian are Fae creatures, technically. The only reason why I didn't ask Vian is because she's not the most book learned. She's more streetwise, if that makes sense.
Just after
it would have made more
conversation about. Hera's just said how book smart she is. You go, yeah, she's not that book smart.
Yeah, but no, like she would have been the only person in the group that would have had the most.
Yeah.
No, like Vian could probably smell a crossing, but she would have no idea what it is or what it looks like or how to communicate it.
I will allow advantage because technically you are all convening together, like thinking on things and stuff. This is like a group. This is like group information aiding.
Can I use my inspiration to re-roll one of those?
I will allow it.
I want to kind of because I've got a train of thought that I think this might be
So I'm guessing you want to re-roll the 3.
Yeah, so a 15 or a 12.
To your knowledge, while sirens have a preference on their prey, quote unquote, they don't outright repulse others. It's very much an come one, come all sort of deal, if that makes sense, for the most part.
I'm imagining we're like talking together about this.
Yeah. This is like kind of them bouncing ideas around, and then you're taking the pieces and putting this together. So while it does stink of Faye, there's just some threads that don't quite add up.
I mean, I've never had issues with charming anybody.
That's what I mean, yeah. It's usually indiscriminate. That's the key point. Whereas this seems to be more targeted.
This is it. Most Fae don't subject themselves to gender. You know, there's even stories of the, you know, that god, the elven god. What's his name? That's the one. Thank you, Coralon. You know, the fact that he appears as both genders and he is, you know, indiscriminate. We don't to be specifically gender specific and, like Vian, you said, repulse certain things like you would never. It's just a little odd. It seems a little bit to do with why would you? I'm going to get very to the point. Why would they specifically want men if it was not for genetic material?
It's either as you say, either genetic material or more than likely because they, there are those stories of the spirits who want to harm men specifically for the harm against a woman.
That is a very good point, actually. I was leaning more towards it was some sort of, witch. Even though no one has told me it's a witch yet, but I was just leaning more towards, hags and that kind of thing. But that's just my nature.
You lean towards those quite a bit.
Yeah, I can't help it. It is, when you spend your 30 years with one, you kind of they're on first.
Silly me, there I go talking about hags again. Oh shucks.
Well, 30 years.
It's like 30 years. Hags are going to be at the forefront of your mind, especially if you're becoming one. Hello. But
that's probably where you'll learn the future. Yes. Well, it's possibly a vengeance thing, but we do have one little thing whilst we're having this conversation we'd like to go and check. So can we take the conversation in the way of what might be the one missing person?
Sorry, I have one quick question before we do. We can talk and walk. Yep. Walk and talk.
That's perfectly fine.
I will be... Did we get the wax?
Yeah, I will hand out.
Dish out the wax.
Quick rewind. I will say you would probably pick up all the wax that you need for 6 copper.
I'll pay. It's no jail. No bother. I have plenty of money. 6 copper.
Yeah. Because I've read a thing recently that, rough math, it's I think it was 1 copper is $1, like American dollar. So yeah, it's about $6 for a good chunk of decent quality wax that's not already preformed into a candle.
You said... did you say that you would have said everything that Evan and Vian would have found out?
I would have said everything, yes.
Yeah, Vian's not aggressively hiding anything other than she's sometimes a bimbo, so she might have forgotten specific details.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't have mentioned the outright charming of a man in the middle of the dock, maybe.
I wouldn't have
cared. I probably would have mentioned that we were able to define that it was in fact a charm of some sort.
Wait, you said, did they procure us a map before we left as well, Danny? I do apologise.
Yes, you would have had a map.
Can I, be like, Great Earl, or Dear, turn around? And I literally, bend him over and put the map on top of him.
Oh.
Liam, you know how in my game you want a table? You've just become the table.
Oh dear.
So, can we mark this on the map? So, you guys, they say until this point, and King, one of you two draw the line almost on the map of the if we were to do that, the docks.
Okay, kind of just mark here. So I'd say it's anywhere from here to about here-ish on the map, and I would kind of mark. I would point them out for you to mark.
Apologies for the lack of dock maps, people watching, but sucks to suck. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll mark it almost on the map, and that's. They keep on saying to the south of the docks. I heard that quite a few times when we were talking. Did you pick up on that, Great Al? Dear? And I'll kind of like bend down to look at him on my
You just kind of just lean over, just like, you got that right.
Yeah. They said
Yeah,
quite a
south.
few. Okay, so it happens most of the time. They were saying in the early evening.
Sun was it not sunset?
Sunset, yeah, which is early evening.
Okay, it's quite a far distance, and it's at sunset. So either are they trying to pinpoint when there's going to be the most number of people on the docks when the ships arrive back, or is there another thing to do with the time?
Maybe they
Possibly,
just like
but-
singing to the sunset.
That's one possibility. Another one is it's later in the day, therefore their defenses are weakened, more easily drawn in.
If it's a creature, that's what time it wakes up or feeds.
Another one.
You eventually make your way as you guys are discussing this potential.
As not Great Elf, sorry, Dia is basically waddling
Walking
across.
bent over.
Waddling across with the map on his back.
But you eventually push through a couple of the tree branches, and you come across a very, very run-down and dishevelled campsite homestead, like for a vagabond. You can see like rags that were haphazardly placed into like a sleeping spot. You can see a dirty and decrepit rusty pot that probably was sat on a campfire that probably is a source of cooking. And you can see other foobar implements that are the scraps of society that have been turned into a home. You don't see the person.
Okay, can I do a perception check to see if there are any what would probably be... I'm guessing he would probably have like a few personal items or something.
Can I give him advantage if he's going to have a little bit of a look through? Can I help?
If you're like gonna, are you if you're handing through stuff, it's gonna be investigation. But if you're literally just scanning over with your eyes, it's perception.
I'm scanning over. If somebody else wants to kind of actually go have a poke through for it.
I can poke through.
Welcome back, Carl.
hello.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, she's back home now.
Good.
Okay.
As long as you're alright. We just had Persephone go on her walk for a bit. We'll say she probably has snuck up onto the people, and they can.
Hi guys.
And once these rolls have been done, they can catch you up on everything, dude. I'll let them do their character.
So I'll do a. Am I doing a perception with advantage, or is
Please,
somebody
yeah.
going?
If Hera is looking with you.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, and
somebody
then
else
if Persephone and Great Elf do searchy
have a
and
route
stuff.
through. Yeah.
Boomer, would you be able to do your magic sense thing, please?
Of course, and I'll start ritually casting detect magic.
Got it. Okay, so
I'm gonna
looking over the go on.
For my investigation, I'm thinking like all the important stuff that if he left deliberately, that he would take with him. If anything, any of that's been left behind.
Has he left behind?
Has he packed up?
Yeah.
Packed up and left.
Has he left?
Yeah, that's what I'm
yeah.
going for. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, is there a single spare copper even?
Yeah, because obviously someone of that person would not leave even one, would they?
Yeah.
Oh, great, tell you missed this over here. Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah, just so you know, by the way, you're searching through a vagabond's living space at the moment.
Yeah.
Basically,
One that's seemingly gone. Looking over, it looks like someone would probably come here tonight to sleep. It looks very plentiful of things, even though the quality of the things are bad. You can see that there's even a couple of fruits and vegetables with a small cloth underneath them, just kind of to the side where food's been stored away as best as. It's looking a little rough now. What was that, Rose?
Yeah, that's it. It's rotted because they've said
it's definitely not looking pretty. It's a good thing that this place is cool, otherwise it would be rancid.
It's probably not rotted, but they're definitely overripe.
Oh fuck yeah! Like if you like one of the courgettes, you can see you probably looks like if you picked it up, it'd be all floppy and squishy.
Oh.
It's edible with very big quote marks to someone who's desperate enough, but it's definitely not nice. But no, it looks like it's still lived in almost. It doesn't necessarily look like someone's packed up and left. So Graytail, you looking through, you can see 2 or 3 coppers. You can see what looks like a set of boots that we'll put to the side. It almost has that look to it of this happened while the man was asleep, because, like I said, his footwear's still there. There's no food in the cook pot, so and the fire's cold. It doesn't look like it's been lit for a while. And
where is this? Sorry.
What was that?
Where about are we? Almost like, so if you got the map, and I assume
to the southwest of the dock, just in the underbrush and stuff, just in a tree line.
Most definitely within the range of the...
More so, because you're south of the docks by about 50, 60 foot, and then more inland west, inside some tree line.
Yeah, so we're most definitely within.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if we were to do like a circle, can we almost like say, oh, this is like the
this
top
is still
half?
Definitely part of it. Yeah.
Yes.
The one thing Persephone does notice, though, is that there's some in the mud almost, and like because it hasn't rained for a few days in this area, it's kind of like semi-dried in. You can see some footprints, but they're like dragged footprints, like someone's dragging their feet as they're walking, so they're more like skid marks almost, but you can kind of vaguely make out the toe beans of a person. And they do seem to be vaguely going in the direction of the shoreline-ish. They don't go very far, but he does notice them. No, she does notice them, sorry.
Okay, guys, there's some footmarks over here. It looks like I'm going that way over there. But it doesn't look like it's a walk, though. It looks like some dragging.
They're still walking under their own power. It's like when someone drags their feet and they're not lifting their feet properly and it's dragging in the dirt.
Yeah.
Did you say? Sorry, did you say toe beans as a joke, or are these tabaxi footprints?
Toe beans as a joke. Just toes.
Okay.
Graytail is suddenly invested.
It's like I want to carry on, but suddenly,
No. I said toe beans as a joke. It's just toes.
Okay. Quick question to everybody, because that's going in terms of the direction of the shore. We've been doing things around the docks all day. Can anyone breathe underwater?
I went for a swim earlier.
Okay.
This one did. That's why she's also wearing less than normal.
Can hold my breath, but I don't know how long for.
I got a spell that can help us if we wait till tomorrow.
Okay. Well, that solves that issue. I was a little bit worried, thinking, eventually we're going to have to go into the water, and I can't breathe underwater.
Well, me and Vian can do some scouting, and then tomorrow we all go down once the spell's there.
I do think that if this normally happens at night, I don't know if taking a rest and then coming back tomorrow night, that's a lot of time to lose.
That's what
obviously
I'm
if it's mandatory, it's mandatory, but we should at least.
That's what I'm saying. We can scout a location and then come back when everyone's ready. While hopefully these things are resting, we can then go in.
Well, it sounds like whatever's doing this is in the water, so we're going to have to go down there anyway.
We don't know.
Yes.
It's southwards, but
also,
we don't know if it's in the water yet.
But I just mean that at the end of the day, whilst you two are very sneaky and brilliant at your job, you're currently under my care, and I do not want to see you both die.
We won't. We'll be fair. And the silence isn't helping.
I'm going to
fine.
I'll give you a nudge. Come on, positive.
Yeah,
come on.
No. This is non-negotiable. We go together.
Yeah, ball sport.
I'm not being a slow sport. I remember what it was to be at your age and, constantly out in bars and picking fights. I get it.
I do not pick fights.
No, you end them.
Thank you. I do not pick fights. Just because they find me doesn't mean it's my fault.
What if I promise to pop us above the surface the moment anything looks, pun intended, fishy?
Like I say, we are not sitting up with half of you going in there. This is, I'm afraid, non-negotiable.
We can at least follow the footprints to see where they end. If they go
Yes,
into the
that
water,
would be an excellent idea. I just mean, we're not having the party going in and look down some tunnels find the big bad that we're searching for. It's stupid.
no, we go and investigate. We see what we can find, and then if it does lead into the water and it goes massively in, that's fine. If we'll wait. If it's like Persephone said, and we're able to find the creature and it's goes to sleep in the morning, then we might be able to come back tomorrow and catch it off guard when it's resting.
That, Evan, is actually a really good idea.
I'm
Amber,
glad you think so.
Which is why I said it.
you didn't say it!
I did.
I literally copied word for word what she said.
Thank you.
What I got was I would like to go sneaking by myself, not as a group.
I did not say by myself either. I said me and Vianne.
Go have a little look and see if they can find out
Where
what's going on.
said, scout ahead, locate it. If it's resting in the next morning, we all go down and go, hey, bye, and kill it.
Or
I don't want you
or remove it.
to locate it. That is the problem. We go together. We stop splitting ourselves up.
We're not splitting up because me
This
and
is how
Vianne.
people get taken.
Why
I
we
don't want
try
to
and
take
make sure
punches.
why we send our most agile people and they are able to get out. VN, you have the ability to transport, well, far distances quickly, do you not?
Yeah, if it's just the two of us, I could literally just grab and get out at a fraction's notice.
So that's a quick escape if needs be. They both can breathe underwater. We're not sending them in half cupped if they do need to go in, but we can at least get to the end of the footprints and see where our options lead after that.
Oh, I understand now. That is why you all keep splitting up, why your number keeps on decreasing, right? We go in as a group. It is the only way we will survive if there is a big bad in there that maybe, can sense you as soon as you go in, and then it can be like, oh, I'm going to eat Vianne because she is delectable. Like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to understand what your thought process is behind your friends potentially being at the mercy of something.
You do
I'd
understand
like to
the
whisper
concept.
to Vianne. Vianne, do you taste like pork then, or turkey, chicken?
Okay, in the meantime, yeah, well, while that's happening.
Yeah, and in the meantime,
you do understand the concept of, the concept of scouts, right?
That's what I said.
The people go ahead to investigate things.
Yeah, if we can all go. I just mean, sorry. I just meant, it sounds like these two are going to go in where we're not able to follow them into today. We can't go in after them because we can't breathe underwater. And all that Hera is trying to point out is that is actually a really bad plan. If they get caught or captured, they are at a disadvantage and we can't get
If we get caught and captured, it's our own fault for being incompetent.
Well, as you guys are at a minimum have agreed to follow the tracks, we'll do that at least. So if whoever wants to track them, can I get a survival check? And then for the sake of Carl, because obviously he's only just turned up, do people want to catch him up while the tracking happens as well? I will say with advantage because you've probably been assisted.
And then you added magic.
Whilst that happens, I will. If you want to go on the tracks, I will do that. I will be back in a moment when I go and grab my armor. Unless you want me to go in there completely undefended.
No, I will come with you, Evan.
By all means, though.
Oh God!
I'll just double check. How much?
Are we now splitting the party?
I wasn't gonna say it. I wasn't gonna say it.
I'll come with you, Evan. It's fine. We won't split up.
May I make a point before this becomes a fucking sitting match? We are going to stay at the camp before we go running off. You guys can follow the tracks. We are going to pick up Evan's armor, then we will go and follow the tracks together as a party rather than constantly splitting up. Agreed?
Agreed.
Agreed. Look what direction they're going in, so we know where to go and come back.
If people want to catch Carl up, I'm just going to quickly use the bathroom. We'll take it as those that aren't going to the ship will wait at the Vagabond's camp. Go and get Evan's armor. I assume you're getting the adamantine armor just in case, or are you getting your other armor?
No, I'll get the adamantine and I'll get my weapons.
You're getting your adamantine armor and weapons. Then the party will meet back up, and based off the survival rolls that have just been made, that will be what's used to head in the direction of the footprints.
Before I go, if it's okay, just mentioning this before you do dash off and we all have a break. Tell Greytail to keep an eye on Persephone and Vianne. They are not allowed to leave without you.
So what I'll do is I'm going to run to the bathroom, and anyone else who wants to or needs to can. If people can catch Carl up, that would be a huge help. I will be back in a couple minutes.
This is worse than Cass, you know what I mean?
Apparently so, yeah.
I was just, the only idea is, literally, Greytail just had a chat about someone being taken because you guys split the party, and then you try and do the same again, and she's like, that's how people apparently get taken. No.
Yeah, no, don't worry. That pot shot at us losing people was fully noted, don't worry.
Good, I'm quite glad about it.
Yes, Persephone, be careful. Your daggers are looking a little too sharp today.
And they seem to be directed a little bit towards your own chest for some reason. You really shouldn't wear a bandolier or, you should probably just put them down far away from you. So, anyway, whilst you were on the... yeah, okay. So, Hera and the Tabaxi went and got signed up for the contract, put a few extra little terms in to make sure that we get paid for doing more than just looking into it. That was going to take about an hour, which we've probably passed by now. They're going to be meeting us at the bar, probably to sign it up later tonight, which I'm guessing we probably won't be doing.
Yeah, because we have to split the party up.
Apparently so. We then headed... So whilst that was happening, Vianne and Evan went to the docks, updated Derek, made sure he was far enough away that he is unlikely to be affected by the singing if needs be. Vianne and Derek both noticed that there was some odd small currents in the water that were new and off, which seemed to be like some sort of underground cavern was maybe opening up a little bit. Vianne was able to clog the hole with a bit of ice, and that was able to stop it. There seemed to be air coming up from underneath, so whatever it is full of air below. We interrogated 2 or 3 people on the dock, including the dock master and one of the last people to be charmed. We were able to find out, and then we were able to find out about this one vagabond, as was stated, that hadn't been seen for a couple of days once Evan had expressed concern that whilst the dock workers had been reported as no one's missing, they hadn't heard anything about a potential fisherman or anyone else.
It's that issue of the people that went missing were the ones that no one thought of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no. Like I say, it's just when I had that thought of just like, hang on, the people who are important have been reported, but what about the other? We've heard 3 times on the dock, we heard someone mention about the fishermen, and it was like, hang on. Well, the fishermen are out there. They probably have some idea. So, no, we went and did that. We've investigated this vagabond, and now off to go and collect the armor or not. Hela's wearing some form of heavy armor, is she not? Danny, I need an answer because Rose left.
Say that again.
Hela, heavy armor, yes?
Yes, Hela's heavy armor.
Alright, well, we can't take the horse then.
I mean, I can take the horse. It's my horse.
Not heavy armor, he's only wearing a breastplate. Just wanted to point that out.
Okay, so probably just fine then. Because it's more on the lines of coming back wearing adamantine armor, which is heavier than normal plate, so I don't want to break my horse's back with 2 of us coming back in close to plate mail armor.
It's fair. I would say it would slow the horse, I would say, but it could manage.
Go and do that. Right. Well, now so I've filled
Carl in and everything, I'm going to go and take my
Yep.
part of the break.
You
so
go do that, and then when you're back, we'll continue.
Okie dokie.
But yeah, Ginga, your video went live on the 189 YouTube channel today. I think I set it for 9 o'clock or 8:30. But if you check the upload notifier, you'll see it. I haven't watched it yet. I purposely haven't watched it because I'm going to watch it on my Danster channel, so it gives it a proper view. It'll be cool, yeah?
Right. So,
Actually, that's a good call, Liam. I need to put the 189 YouTube channel on that link tree. Thank you for reminding me.
So, as Evan's gone, who's gone with Evan? Me. So, he's not alone.
Just as a note, is water breathing the spell we're planning on using?
I believe so.
This is out of character because I wouldn't know. It can be cast as a ritual, so we don't even have to wait. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done it before, don't
But
think.
I still believe he will have to have it prepared. I think wizards are the only ones that can cast non-prepared spells as a ritual.
Oh, okay.
Let me.
Wizards are the only class that can do this.
Yeah,
okay.
I thought that was the case, and I literally just grabbed my player's handbook to double check, but I thought that was the case because I thought we'd had this conversation before on a different character.
Right.
Also, I'm back by the way. I just didn't want it to be another 3 hours of us sitting around. Like, there's nothing wrong with it.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah,
No, I would comfortably say that you have got most of the pieces in place.
I was saying the only reason I had the comment is because like if it has to be sunset, it's like okay, we gotta wait till morning to recycle the spells, then we gotta wait till sunset for the thing to show itself again.
It's another full day. Yeah.
Well, like I said, it has been known to occur throughout. It's just most likely.
Yeah.
Also, a long rest to do your. Oh god, it specifies. What is it for druids when they can rechange their spells? Is it in the morning or in the night?
At dawn, it's specified at because it's when you do a long rest. So in theory, if he started taking a long rest straight away, it would be like 10, 11 o'clock when he'd be ready.
Tail is getting protective of them. That's all it is.
As I said,
Sorry?
Reminded me of Cat, mothering her. Let me go!
No, but see, this one's money related.
Yeah.
Yeah, like literally, if you die, it's on her neck. Like she's literally said that you guys are working with her. So if there are deaths, then it's kind of like a black mark on her name. But also, she is the kind.
There's always deaths in anything, so I won't worry about it.
I'm worried about it though. At the end of the day, Persephone reminds Hera a lot of herself at that age. So she's going to try and, tamper down some of the things before you end up murdering a bunch of people.
There's nothing wrong with selective killing.
Hera thought that too, but apparently selective killing, if you're working for the wrong person, means you selectively kill quite a few people.
I still don't like killing in general if we're taking opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
I
Sorry,
agree.
I'll be in character now. I don't know
selective killing in self-defense. How about that?
You can call it whatever you want, but murder is still murder.
It's not murder if it's self-defense. More like manslaughter.
I will point out that actually this country, that if you use magic in any form, then that means that you are, a bad person, so I really wouldn't, try and look into their laws.
I am not disputing anything to do with magic. No, I'm just saying if I kill someone in self-defense, it's self-defense.
Yes, but question: has Hera been told at any time about how the party met up together?
No.
Originally.
Oh, why would we need to?
I think Vianne mentioned that she was adopted by the party at one point. I think that's the only story you've gotten, though.
So I wouldn't know that at the end of the day you guys technically were against the law even though you've done nothing wrong.
We ended it with kidnapped.
But now Eventine is back. You guys would eventually reconvene at the Vagabond camp. It would take a good 15-20 minutes given plate armor, and he's usually a bitch, you would follow the tracks with multiple people.
Before we did,
okay,
I detect magic.
He had done detect magic before we left,
he is entirely right. I had forgotten. But yeah, no, that would have happened before the rest of the people got back. Detect magic's 30-foot radius, if I remember right.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'll be walking around the camp.
Yeah. The camp is entirely inert. There is no magic that is detectable outside of the people inside it. And you don't sense anything, unfortunately.
Not even like, I'll start walking the trail partly.
If there was any remnants, it's since faded. What has happened seems to be not like yesterday or something. This is a few days ago. So and based off what Eventime found out from DeVry, the vagabond stopped turning up about a week ago.
And there's no latent magic from this whatever was being done previously washing over the entire area.
No.
So I'm guessing this is going on whilst Evan and Hera aren't with the party. This is when they've gone to go and get the armor, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Could Hera just have had a moment, if that's okay? It would only take 3 seconds, I promise. And all it was is just as, Evan, like, in full plate armor, Strider's force, she just goes, okay, that is very formidable. In your armor, on a shining horse, you look like the stories that you hear of white knights on shining steeds.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was meant to be a compliment. It didn't come across that way. I'm sorry. I was trying to be sincere. I don't really do that for you.
Well, I thank you for the compliment.
It's all right. I won't take it any further because I get the impression that you're married to this Cass.
Married? No. Married to Cass? No. Have been married? Yes.
Oh, really? So you're not single then?
No.
Oh, okay. So you're with Vian now then?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm having so much fun. Okay. So, do you have a wife somewhere or husband?
I do appreciate Vian's sharing a bed with Hailra, and people still think her and Evan are married somehow.
He's like, oh yes, it's you two. It's like, no.
It's more important, like, Helen's trying to do that thing of sourcing things out, but at the same time, it's like, in her head, she's like, shut up, don't even try, because this is bad. Don't try and find out if they're single and try and hit on them. That's not a good path. No, so, is there a wife or husband somewhere?
Long since passed.
Oh, I am sorry. Losing a loved one, I've heard it can be quite horrendous. You must have only been very young then when you got married.
It was a lifetime to us.
I'm sorry. I get the impression that most of you have lost loved ones.
It's yeah. I think all of us have in some way, but we're getting on the best we can.
This is it. Also, love is kind of a strange thing, I think. It's made for some and not for others. But
I'm no expert.
you look rather dashing.
I thank you.
In your armor. Okie dokie. Would you mind if Are you going to go fast?
Well, I don't want to overtire him too much, but we can.
Go fast. And I'll kind of like jump up behind him, put my arms and be like, "Don't worry, I can take it."
Okay.
And we will storm off back to the rest of the party. I assume if Evan is okay with that.
Yeah, like I say, I go as fast as the horse is willing to go without overtaxing.
Which is fine. It's definitely speedier than your standard canter. But it's hardly a gallop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not very far either. It's just away from the docks.
Would eventually meet up with the rest of the party and begin the tracking. It is to be said, though, that about 5 or so minutes into the tracking, and this would probably be 4-ish hours, I want to say, post-noon, given the times you guys have been investigating, you all do start to hear a very faint melody.
Waxing ears.
Oh, hang on. Before you react, it doesn't... None of you in the party immediately feel any sort of extra pressure from it. You may certainly plug afterwards, but there's no immediate, it's targeting me vibes. For Hera, Persephone, Vianne specifically, you pick up on these mournful undertones, and it's subtle. You almost feel like you hear the melody, you hear the happiness, you hear the charm in it, but you just get this like aftertaste of pain and sorrow and mournfulness.
Vianne would like to just drown it out with her own charm and just keep counter charm rolling.
Okay.
So
you may certainly
gentle singing.
You may certainly plug ears as you wish. I just wanted to point out it doesn't feel like it's directly targeting any of you at the moment.
Oh yeah, but just more counter charm is just
absolutely fine. It was just more
sustained action. Yeah, she just did not even the charm part of it. She just doesn't like it. And she's like, "No, I am. That is me. Get out of here. Yeah. How dare you threaten me?
How dare you threaten me with me?"
Which does help, and to a point, if people focus on Vianne's performance more, it does get drowned out very quickly. Despite the melody being directionless almost, it is still coming in through the ears.
I do have a quick mechanic question. Yeah.
Yes.
If that's... Say, for example, if someone got charmed and then somebody else did a charming, which would win? Would it be the original or the new one?
I would work it like a dispel magic roll. You know, like roll d20, add the levels of the spell sort of thing.
So, for example, if somebody in the party did get charmed by this creature...
It could be possible to charm them yourself and kind of override it. It'd be a roll, but I would allow it. Because
Vianne could attempt to just tug them back.
Yeah, the way I would rule it...
We're aware that a slap works as well, though.
The way I would rule it is d20 plus spell level versus d20 plus spell level. If it's a ability, I would just rule it as a spell modifier.
So, and if it's the case of, okay, so say we're being hit with a charmed person and Vianne uses suggestion, which is a 1 to 2, so ours is a higher level than theirs, is it like counterspell automatically overwritten?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, I would allow that. I would do it like a counterspell, dispel magic type thing.
Yeah.
Whereas if yours is more potent, it would override.
But on a match, it would also be a roll-off, basically.
Yeah, and obviously for abilities, we'd be a bit wibbly with it, because sometimes charms are innate rather than a spell.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you all hear it, and it's faint at the minute. It's only just starting, and it does get louder at first before it becomes like a full melodic tone.
How do you charm, Vianne? Are you singing?
Yeah, like she's not going hard, like proper singing. She's more just kind of like loud humming to herself.
Oh, I'll pick up on the humming. If Vianne's humming, I'll start humming as well to try and drown it out a little bit. Even though it doesn't actually add anything, it's just more so someone in the party is humming, let's all hum kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's just like when you're blasting music in your car and you're just kind of like humming along to it, except there is no music anywhere besides in her head, but she's still...
That is a
got a
very
bet
good
on
point.
it.
Is that Evan
Is it
tries?
like if we were to turn our ears in certain directions, does it seem like it's more to like the left side or right side,
Like
or
I
is
said,
it in our?
It's directionless.
It's directionless in your head. But if you plugged your ears, you would stop to hear. You wouldn't hear it anymore. So it's not like going directly to your head, but when you hear it, it sounds directionless.
Oh yeah, I will hold out we will hand out the beeswax to the guys in the party. That seems
Which doing that does it considerably muffles it, and then you can eventually, in some cases, no longer hear it. For those with lower perception.
Evan would also move more central to the group to allow the aura to have the most reach.
Yeah, I would be like, if we're going in kind of, I assume in a small group, so like 3, 4 kind of deal, or would we go in 2s and a 3?
Well, I think it's more like no spread on that one. It's probably more of a close huddle.
That's okay. I would move more towards the front, but I am still trying to be in the middle of the people that, if they got hit, would hurt them. So between Persephone and Biat.
I'd be standing behind Evan. And if he starts wandering off, I'd give him a slap and bring him back.
Oh.
Yeah, near the back.
Then. That's a really idea, actually. If we pair up the boys with the girls, we can try and combat it a little bit. Well, the men with the women.
Yeah, it's either way. Do you? So you keep following these tracks, yeah?
Yep.
Until they reach the shoreline, if that makes sense. We will keep going.
Well, they would probably reach, yeah.
Which it will eventually do, and then you follow the shoreline down. And for the very perceptive people in the group, what you will see a few hundred feet away is a figure sat on a flat stone next to the water. Currently, like she sat on the knees and then like sat on the feet, but then like kind of shifted to the side so the feet like kick out a little bit, head down and just the hands on the lap almost. And
can I do a perception check to see if I recognise the species or anything?
Yeah, well, you can do that. One other thing you notice is there's some sort of tether going from it to the water.
Like a large tether, or
like a chain, a rope, or
rope akin, maybe.
Okay.
It's too far to tell. You're a few hundred feet away. This is like just coming into view for some of the more perceptive people. Persephone, you notice that it seems to be feminine in shape and figure, very slender, very elegant, very pretty. Pale skin, like very auburn hair. You can't quite tell much else from the distance. You can see this, there's something attached to the neck, and it's the back of the neck where this like tether I keep referring to trails off, and it's like slightly taut but got some slack to it that goes into the water directly behind her.
Are we?
Quick question. Sorry.
I would say, how far back are we?
About 200-ish feet away from this.
Okay. Can we try and?
Yeah. Sorry. Go on.
I was about to say, can we try and move a little bit out of the way so we're not obvious in line of sight? So, like, if we're on the shore, like, is there a small little embankment or something nearby we can just?
I would say you could probably use the terrain to your advantage, tree lines and stuff, if you guys want to make a stealth check as you see this.
Before we get any closer, can I quickly ask a quick question with Boomer? Boomer?
Who?
Could we send our 2 in and have a look at these tethers? I've just got a weird feeling.
Yes, I think that's a good idea.
Brilliant. So I'll let loose Dill and get him to go a little bit closer. And have a look at this thing. Like, is it actually a rope, or is this thing attached to a larger creature? And this is a little lure. So it feels a little bit lure-like. Where's the anglerfish?
I'll take anglerfish, yeah.
Well, yeah, anglerfish. My brain was a little bit like the Oblex.
Yes.
So for those that are stealthing, can I get stealth? And those that are stealthing and moving up, stealth also. Who is moving up? Persephone and Vian.
I'll move up, yeah.
No.
I'm moving up,
I
yeah.
thought they were sending forward their.
The two water
Yeah,
breathers, yeah.
they're sending scouts first.
Yeah, the water
Yeah.
breathers. So you guys are going in the
No,
water.
no,
They're
we're not sending the
they're
water
familiars.
breathers.
No,
Familiars.
Okay.
The
Now
non-charmables.
that makes more sense. Okay, so
Which is me.
Yes.
okay,
And
so
then perception on the creatures, right? Our
please,
familiars.
yes.
Sorry, I just wanted to state that before all of a sudden we got the
My interpretation immediately was send the water breathers in the water to go and look at the tether underwater or something.
No, we're going to send in the things that can't be charmed.
I got you.
Can't be charmed and can fly to go and have a look first.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. We are
Can
essentially
I-
just moving over to the tree line.
yeah, no, I get it now. Can I?
Massive speed just
Right, so
drive my
it's Hailra and Boomer, correct? That have got familiars.
Yeah. So
Hailra first. Can I get a stealth followed by a perception of your familiar, and then Boomer the same?
so
Also,
stealth.
Why haven't we got two? Have we got 2 bags of holding?
We got more than that, I think.
We got
Why
3 or 4.
don't we use your familiars? One opens a bag of holding, the other one carries the bag of holding. Send the familiar over to this person
You're gonna
and
fucking scooper.
fly a bag of holding into the bag of holding.
No,
Yes,
that's a waste of 2 bags of holding.
because
They blow up.
I'm aware of that, but we got an artifice, haven't we? Boomer, he could just make
No.
2 more.
That's murder. We just had a discussion about not
No,
doing
we're not
that.
doing that.
I think that's very much a waste of a perfectly good plan.
Okay, Boomer,
That's-
can I get your stealth followed by the perception? So Hailra does the
It's a
13th.
56, but it does have blind sight for 60 feet.
Got it. And then
Yeah,
perception's
slide
So that's the stealth's pretty bad.
I need to find where it's gone. It was huge.
Oh, got a good perception.
Okay. Both seem, because I'm giving disadvantage to the passive perception of the thing because it's currently performing, quote unquote, which does make Boomer, your familiar, doesn't get noticed.
Oh.
Just the disadvantage saved it. It was bang on, but I'm gonna give the win to the players because it's fair. It was it's got a passive of 13 with a negative. No, never mind. It will spot. Shit, my bad.
What the hell?
could I then? Well,
hang on,
Uh,
Liam. Let me just explain this first, because both of them move up, and while Hailra's familiar can't spot too much, but does manage to go carefully, Boomer, your familiar makes a bit more noise, but does spot more. What you notice is this is a pale-skinned, auburn-haired, elven figure with black eyes, pure black. Perfect in almost every way. The skin is immaculate. The body is in pristine condition. Very gorgeous, as it were. And you notice around the neck there is this dark metal collar, is almost the way to explain it. Like a choker almost. And it's attached to this thick metallic rope. It's not quite a chain, it's more like a rope, but it seems to be like woven metal that leads back into the water. And the creature is head down and singing to herself, and seemingly doesn't necessarily look happy. Looks very distressed is probably a way to put it.
What
Liam?
about the other?
Oh, go on.
You said that there were 2 tethers, one on her neck
No.
and one.
Just one. Sorry, it goes into the water, is what I said. I didn't mean
sorry.
to. If I said 2, I didn't mean it. It's just one tether coming from the neck. That's it.
Yeah, also, I've lost the spider and I cannot find it.
It's fine.
I'm very concerned right now. Sorry.
It's above you.
So, Liam, what was it you was going to say as dear?
Oh, it won't make any difference now, but also
Okay.
I do have the Find Familiar spell technically with the chassis stuff.
It's an hour to cast, though, remember, Liam.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you haven't found the Find Familiar yet.
But yeah, that's what the familiars see. And I would imagine before this creature looks at Boomer's familiar, I'd imagine you call it back really quick. Because as it would pick its head up and start looking in the direction of where they are stealthing, hearing the splish splash of your familiar sneaking up. Would you snap it back?
By the way, it's in the air.
But either way, would you snap it back if it got spotted?
I'd snap it in a random direction.
No, but you could just snap it out of existence, so it's just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as it looks up and you see it pick its head up, and Hera, you see its pale face with its like pure black eyes. You see it look around. It's still singing, but it definitely got distracted a little, and the audibleness of it diminishes a little, but it doesn't fully stop. But as it goes to get distracted, you see the tether yank slightly, and it yanks the head back, which then kind of snaps her back into it, and it goes into the louder like audibleness.
Because obviously it's been snapped back, Boomer's has, but mine is a bat, and a bat flying around in Sunset isn't really a big deal, it's just a thing. So I'll get Dill to kind of like follow usual patterns of what a bat would do before kind of going out into water a little bit and trying to see if I can see if there's any dark mass just beneath the waterline.
Kind of deals. Check.
Yeah, thank you. This is with a +1, and like I say, I do have blind sight for 60 feet, so I'm using like echolocation almost. Yeah, that's only an 8.
Not that you can see, no.
It's all based on hearing?
Unfortunately, no. Dill doesn't see any dark mass under the water or anything like that. The water does seem deeper here, despite being on the shoreline. This rocky section is like raised up, almost like a rocky cliff edge. It's not quite flush like a beach.
Bats can't really see in the dark. They use like beeping, squeaking.
But it would sense sense the water and then stop there because it would bounce off the water.
It depends on your. It don't matter.
Because you get what I mean. The sound waves would bounce off the water's tension.
Kinda, but it's fine. That's fine.
Especially with such a low roll coupled as well. Like you got no chance.
Yeah. It was just to see if I could get it with advantage, but it's completely cool if not.
Because if it was not in water where you were trying to look, yes. Because it is. Sorry.
I'll bring him back then and kind of turn to the rest. You know, Owl's eyes going purple again. So, Val, something underneath the water tugged on the thing's, like, you know, chain around its neck.
It's a metal rope.
Yeah, it's like a chain, right? And something around its neck, and the thing seemed... Now, understandably, you know, the sorrowful song that we hear, it seems very, like, trying to lure people, but it doesn't want to lure people. Something that is on the other side of its chain wants to lure people. And I'm getting a very Little Mermaid feeling all of a sudden.
I'll be honest, never watched it. Don't even. I was a Pixar kid, leave me alone.
Disney Pixar.
I was
Toy Story. Big fan.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, if I've done it again, please do let me know when you find everything out.
No, something under the water is controlling that creature. Can anybody use like some sort of spell where you send messages backwards and forwards without people hearing that message?
I could just try talking to the fish and ask them to send the message.
I think that whatever is controlling it might be able to is listening out for the song. Like it got quieter and distracted and then kind of pulled. Can we get something that goes straight into its head?
If I can get close enough.
How close?
I'll go with it to protect her.
I think 60. Let me double check.
How far away from it currently, Danny?
30. I need 30.
You guys are probably about 150, 200 feet away.
I just think if we get close, then whatever is under the water is going to see.
If I can get 30 once I establish the link, I can keep it.
Can you go invisible?
No.
Quick question. Can anybody do invisibility here?
I could make it hard to see us, though.
Oh?
Well, I think the fog cloud, that was me. Back when we were...
Yeah, but it's really... It's not very... You will see a massive cloud all of a sudden appear. It's not exactly hiding that something is going on. I just want it to be as inconspicuous.
Fog on a coastline at evening?
In a certain circular formation.
Oh, I guess that's fair.
I understand where you are coming from. It is a very good idea. It's just I don't think right for the moment. Maybe we do try and draw them out.
Maybe if there was a distraction on this end, it would be easier for me to get close. Like if she successfully lured somebody out here, maybe their eyes would be over there.
This is what I'm wondering. Boomer, you like making loud noises, correct?
Oh, yeah.
You got any fireworks?
Drawing metal.
Fireworks. Hang on a
I didn't mean fireworks, I meant
If you wanted a distraction, but yeah, if you're going for the destroying the chain.
That's what I'm thinking, though. That's a really big distraction, though, right?
It'd be a hell of a shot from this distance, wouldn't it?
Wow.
Can the cannon do that?
Can it?
It can certainly try.
That's my boy. That's my boy.
You just put word destruction in front of Boomer. No matter the situation,
he'll have a go.
He will have a go.
What do you do? This is a one-shot stick, right? We need to be certain before we do anything. How far will it travel? Your shots. You should know, as the second person who created this, how long that it's firing.
More than likely 120 foot.
120 if they Kinesia just wants
So
to
if you guys went forward another 30 or so, you'd be in range.
Yeah, 120.
Wouldn't that be in the sea? How close can we get?
Well,
I think as long as we... So what I'm imagining is a little bit... You know when you go to the seaside and you have like that brush grass that's next to it before you hit the actual sand? Yeah. I'm imagining that we're up there, kind of all low to the ground, looking through the brush grass at this creature that's 120 foot, like, on the water's edge almost. Am I right in thinking? Danny?
Say that again, sorry.
I was just saying, I imagine that we are in, like, the grassier bit. So, you know, if you were in the UK in this country, you would have, like, you know, the grassy bit with the high grasses. Yep. I'm imagining we're in this, and then you've got the water's edge, which is where this creature's kind of...
Yep.
Yeah. So, we would have to get the cannon onto the beach.
Now, I have a distraction that could work.
Really?
I kind of gesture a little bit back to the horse that's been following us. I can mentally tell that to go. I can tell the horse to go and distract and be near.
Would you okay having a whip strapped to it?
Having the cannon sit on its back and get a bit closer, maybe, or have to distract the cannon follow nearby to try and do that.
Or me and Vian can just walk forward and chat to her.
That is part of the plan. You're going to distract them so you can do that.
So let's get distracted, and I'll start walking forward slowly in the shrubbery. Come on, Vian, let's go. Party time.
She was gonna wait until stuff was actually in motion.
I am in motion. I'm sneaking forwards another 10 feet.
Yeah, I guess Vian's gonna start moving just for not losing that, like, momentum.
Can I get some stealth checks from those that are moving?
Can I
say, before Bian goes, I will give her one of my teeth, so I can at least talk to her back. And she can't talk to me, but I can talk to her, if it makes sense telepathically. And go see through your eyes but it'd destroy it, but you wouldn't know that.
Reindeer, why are you coming
Where's Dia going?
Good teamwork on those stealth checks, though.
Yeah, but Dear, why are you coming with us? Go away.
Just
you like as he starts moving forward, like you come here. I send the horse. I send the horse to basically, if they needed it, but grant distraction of just. There's a big animal. There's a big animal nearby, basically.
Yeah. So.
So
the three of you go to stealth forward with Deer.
No.
Do you choose to turn around or do you keep going?
If I get told to come back, I'll come back.
You get turned around.
Okay.
Like he's just grabbed by the scruff of his neck by Evan.
Yeah, he doesn't get a choice.
So the two of you stealth forward and do so very carefully and very quietly. You get closer and closer by Fluff. What do you guys do as you approach?
We wait for the horse to start making lots of racket.
You feel like you're completely hidden at the minute. You don't feel like you need it.
Yeah, it won't make a racket or anything, but it just kind of walks along.
It's going to be like a wild horse, I assume.
Yeah, wild horse, just kind of wander along the beach and everything.
Vian's trying to wait for that attention span flick where there's just that, like, the moment something, like, looks away kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. She does.
And then she's going to subtle spell Misty Step another 30 feet closer. Yeah. Once she's gotten close enough where that would finish her.
Where, like, that would close the entire gap.
Yeah, because if she's 60 feet away, she Misty Steps 30 forward, she can then drop the link.
Okay, so yeah, you guys...
At the last 30 feet.
Stealth up, the horse does horse things, and it is noticed by the creature, but it doesn't distract her like before, because it's more of a natural occurrence, whereas the unusual noises before kind of like that, huh?
It's distracting whatever's...
Yeah, no, her eyes are on the horse as whereas before she was kind of looking into her own lap, she's now looking at the horse, still doing the exact same. Persephone and Vian, you all move up very quietly and get, with the rolls you've got and with enough time, into a range you feel like 60 foot away or so, like where you're almost in line with her, and it's like from brush to her direct.
Yeah, at that point, Vian tries to just pop that last little distance to a closer tree line or rock or something for cover.
Yeah,
Would I now recognise this species as I'm now closer?
You're welcome to make a nature check, both of you. And just so you know, Vian, you're probably about 40 foot away, like in direct line, like in a straight line from water's edge to where you are. You are the closest you can be without being in the open, and unfortunately, Persephone, you don't recognize the creature. There's features that are recognizable, but you don't know what it is exactly.
At this distance, she is a little paralyzed in her thoughts. Like, okay, do I just run for it? Do I try and sneak still?
Yeah, without
and she's
going
gonna take
into
just
the direct
a second to.
Yeah. You're about 40 foot away, and you are the closest without going into the direct open you can be. The attention is upshore, watching the horse, and it's not on you at the minute. So her head is about 90 degrees to the right, whereas you're like dead on with her like front.
Okay, go on then, VM. It's time to make movements.
Yep, I'm just... How do I want to play this?
Words, hello, how are you? My name's Vian. I'm awesome. How about you?
Sorry, yeah, Vian's gonna just try and... If it's underwater, I don't want to go under.
No, let's stay above because we don't know where that chain goes.
Yeah. Vian's gonna try and break the cover that she has to close that last little distance for a second.
So,
Like, she's gonna try her best to move 15 feet to get 25 in, and then 15 back to her cover as best she can manage.
try and low and slow move as close as you can.
And then zip back.
So like, you run out and then pump back.
You can run back, I think, is what she's trying to. I mean, what's the range of whatever telepathic you can do?
30. So, but once the link is established, it's up to a mile. So she's trying to take the 15-ish closer, and the moment she feels that hook,
grab it and then
We're
run
only
back.
40 away, so...
Yeah, so you only have to go like 10 or so feet, bam, and then run back, which I would say you're able to quickly do. And there is a prick in the attention of the creature, as there is a recognition that something has just attached, but obviously not knowing what.
Now is it Helra can hear me, but I can't hear Helra back?
No, you can hear Helra, but you can't respond.
Okay.
Yeah, until I would have said beforehand, if it's okay, Danny, is just if you want me to be listening, give me like a sign, and I can key him for 1 minute. If that makes sense.
Oh, off of remote viewing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can go remote and have a little bit of a look.
Yeah, Vian tries to just splash the water out of range. Like, she uses shape water to just kind of like make a splash in Hailra's direction.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of like as subtle as she can while still.
Yeah.
So I will go blind and deaf and hold on to Great Helen Evan and go view and be able to hear and talk to Helra. Not Helra, that's my character. Leanne. Sorry, I've caught the spider.
Okay.
Sorry. I am here.
I'm in. This might startle her.
Oh no!
If she looks startled, she's gonna need.
It is kind of like as you like attach the connection and run back, you kind of see the head and the eyes like open wide, and that start. It is like an initial startle of like, what the fuck?
Be gentle. Make sure.
If she looks startled, I'm gonna need some sort of... She's gonna need an excuse. Because we don't want whatever's on the other end of that chain to recognize she's startled.
She hasn't stopped, but she is definitely cautious because something is happening that she doesn't recognize. And she's concerned, but is continuing at the moment.
Tell her we're here to help. Keep singing. Sorry? I'm blinded.
I know, but basically, if Helra mentions out loud that we need a closer distraction, I can send the horse in to, like, physically bother her a little bit.
I mean, I've got my hands both on Greytail's and Evan's arm, so I've kind of squeezed gently on Evan's arm a little bit, because technically I can't communicate with you two, so that'll be the best I can do. It's a little bit like... and kind of move his hand almost towards the creature, hoping that he would understand. Move your horse closer, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So I'm guessing, well, you can still speak, that's the thing.
Oh, I can, yeah. I will say, she needs a bigger distraction.
Okay, I will send the horse in to kind of, like, the horse finally notices her, basically, and kind of just goes over and essentially just kind of pesters for a little bit of a... Well, looks like it's going to pester for a little bit of a fuss.
Yeah, she does kind of... She's sat bolt up now, and she kind of leans back and puts the one hand on the rock behind her, kind of unaware of what to do.
At that point, Vian's then gonna chime in. Okay, shh. Quiet. We're here to help. I'm sorry if this is startling. You look like you're in need, and I'm gonna try and help, okay? But, like, don't give this away, please.
What language do you use?
I think she would default to Fae.
Sylvan, then, yeah.
Yeah, Sylvan. I think she would default to Sylvan not thinking because it's her inside head voice versus her outside head voice.
Yeah.
Does the telepathy that you use require a language, or just as long as they understand one?
That is...
Because there's some where it's as long
telepathy
as they...
is technically its own, yeah.
Yeah, as long as you know a language and they know a language, it doesn't matter in some
No,
cases.
this one is you must each speak mentally in a language the other knows, in particular for this one.
Okie.
So, hearing that voice and what you say, there's a kind of like a freeze for a moment, and then she like responds in the head. That would be appreciated. I have been forced to do this for only a moment.
Is the chain magical? Do you know if the chain is magical at all?
Yes.
Darn it. Okay.
It's to make sure that I comply.
I don't think I can teleport people out of magical restraints. Non-magical restraints I could. I think technically DM discretion, but...
We'll see.
Vian's thinking perspective.
So I can do, but obviously I can't communicate.
Mm-hmm.
Is it under the water behind you?
And as she is responding, you notice that her concentration essentially dwindles a little bit on the performance, as her singing does stop for a moment as she responds, yes, it leads to their home. And she stops singing entirely at this point. And you watch as the tether glows red slightly, and she recoils in pain instantly as she's yanked back with force into the water behind her.
Quickly, before we...
And he's pulled
Ask...
under.
Go ahead, Rose.
What was it? Creature.
Basically ask what has her.
Oh,
well, you still...
what is it?
It is a coven. Please help. As the session ends there.
Okay.
As you have now just realised that a water nymph is being manipulated by a coven. When both of you said those individually, I thought, well, both of you are right.
Uh-huh.
I can hear Rose's groan.
Well, no,
I love
her. I'd say it's more her exasperated. Finally, someone else.
Oh, that is bad.
Sorry?
Oh no, just the state of that.
It's like, 3 underwater hags to deal with.
But yeah, we are going to end the session there.
Yep.
2
weeks we will pick this up and we will see how you guys felt.
Badly.
Fine, Danny, before we cut off the session. What time of day is it?
Anti-Michael time zones.
About
Yeah, we
5
need to...
p.m.-ish.
5 p.m.
Yep.
So, if we have a start a long rest early, we can go in at 3 a.m. Well, no, even before that, we could go in at 1 a.m. As long as we have 8 hours of rest, you can do whatever time you want. Oh no, it needs to be dawned on it. Fucking damn you, dear.
For what? For what?
Spell change, water breathing.
Spell change
Spell
isn't
long
dawn.
rest.
It's the end
Is it
of a,
definitely
it's
not?
during a long rest.
Most
not
magic
dawn.
items are dawn is the only.
Yeah.
Right, we need to check right before we Druid.
Well,
But-
we'll do
Oh,
that.
but-
Hang on.
Yeah, we'll do that
Allow
during
me
the thing.
Allow me
Yeah.
to sign off the stream.
Yeah.
As people watching, the next stream will be tomorrow, where we're going to play some Back for Blood with the new DLC that's come out. Then following that, it's going to be some 7 Days to Die on Wednesday. Then unfortunately no stream Thursday because I'm in Manchester with an event I was invited to through Twitter called Format.
La-di-da.
And I will see you guys. So I will see you guys Sunday.
Bye.
Good night.